Let's go.
All right, greetings, Geek Warriors, which is still our opening until we can think of something better.
Greetings, Geek Warriors.
Greetings, Geek
There's
Warriors.
the Warriors. I don't
Geek-
know why.
I still like the Warriors, and still
Geek Fource, you.
I don't know.
Wouldn't they also be the Geek Force?
They would probably be part of the Geek Force. Yeah.
Greetings, Geek Force.
I've heard if you...
Which
Go
so
on
the
mission,
new
should you
the
choose
new
to accept
thing
it.
to the new tagline I'm throwing out for Patreon is join the Force. Like the idea that we're like some kind of crew.
Warriors.
Militant crew!
Yeah.
Hell bent on taking over fucking society,
We are
man.
a well-regulated militia, and we all have many firearms.
Alright, man. Welcome to Pirate Radio.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is Geek Force, our second episode of Geek Force.
We did.
I've
we
heard
made
it-
it to number 2.
Made it to number 2.
I heard if you geek fast enough, you can merge into the Geek Force and go back in time.
Yeah, that's. I'm
Well,
pretty sure
yeah,
that's
but then
accurate.
you'll fuck up the timeline every
yeah.
single time.
Well, you know. Sometimes
If
you
you
gotta
don't make
save
it
your
all the way to the
mommy.
Geek Force, you just skip ahead in time, like.
I miss
Max.
my mommy. Max Headroom?
Yes.
No, the
Max head.
it's Mercury. There we go.
Oh, yes,
So,
Max
yeah.
Mercury. Everyone's
the
favorite
intros.
speedster.
I actually really liked Max Mercury. I thought he was.
I don't
really
have
cool.
any issues
Or the
with
Bart
Max
Allen.
Mercury.
The whole run of his. I liked him.
Yeah,
And we should introduce ourselves.
we should introduce
I don't
ourselves.
like the introductions. I think someone should do the introductions for everybody.
We should just have one
Okay.
recorded that stays in. We just
No, like Ben said.
Tell you what,
I like that idea.
I'll
today
introduce you
is-
for you. So I'm Ben, and Ken is here too.
Hello, Benjamin.
There you go.
How are you doing today?
Doing good for you.
I'm all right. Thank you for asking. It feels really good to be introduced. Like I matter.
Yeah.
Everyone else who doesn't matter, go ahead and introduce yourselves.
My
Okay.
other idea for that was to be like, I'm Ken, and then let you be thought of sounding like that.
Oh, so you weren't going to introduce me so much as plagiarize myself.
Yes,
Just-
that was my other
So that
plan.
people would be listening and go, "Where's Ken?"
I know.
It's me.
All he said was, "I'm Ken" at the beginning.
No, that voice is Scarface. So
That's right. I forgot.
on my face.
Okay. I'm Velma.
I'm Noah.
And
Yeah,
those-
all our names rhyme. Ken, Ben, Velma, and Noah.
Yep.
yes.
That's not how all and rhyme go together, but yeah.
They all individually
Pairs,
rhyme
yes.
with something else.
There we go. But yeah, so this is the second episode, and like last time, we're going to go ahead and just talk about some of the general stuff that's going on in the geek world. The biggest thing that's happened since last week is that Ant-Man came out.
And the Wasp.
Ant-Man and the Wasp came out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, Steve
am
Ditko
short
did
shrifting.
die.
Oh, Steve Ditko died too. We should talk
But
about
sure, go ahead and talk about your shitty movie first.
Yeah, well, did Steve Ditko dying make $90 million or however much it
that. It
made?
was 80.
I mean,
Oh, that's what I said.
Over
How much
the
is
years,
he-
probably his stuff has made more than that.
Considering that,
I
yeah,
don't
like
know.
we just all saw Ragnarok a little while ago, and it had. So, oh no, that was Kirby
That was Jack
stuff.
Kirby.
But
Doctor Strange,
Spider-Man,
But
Spider-Man
Doctor
was
Strange,
Doctor Strange,
Spider-Man, all that stuff.
A lot of his stuff is still all over the MCU, and which is now, of course, bigger than. I almost feel like the MCU
Jesus.
is bigger than the comic
Well, yeah.
industry.
Hawk and Dove going to be
Wow.
in the new Titans.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, are those Steve Ditko?
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
So-
What about Hawkman?
Bummed that Steve Ditko died, but of course at
He
90,
was 90 years old.
yeah,
So there is
like him and Stan both are who are contemporaries of each other and work together for.
And hated each other.
Yeah.
Well, something happened anyway.
Yeah,
That's weird. Why does
I
everyone
think-
hate Stan
I
Lee?
think there was a woman involved.
Other than Stan
you
Lee's
think
wife
Stan
of
like
50 years?
Stan like banged his?
I don't know.
His
I think this
girlfriend?
is
I
just
don't-
the gay agenda.
Do you think
pushing
Stan Lee
this
yells out
anti-women.
exactly?
Exactly. This is
As
the
a
gay
gay
agenda.
man, you're just like
Yeah.
pushing the anti-women
Yeah.
rhetoric.
Oh, it is. No, I didn't mean that a woman had broken them
As
up.
a straight
I
man,
mean-
I'm also anti-woman.
They were fighting over a woman like so many, Neanderthals.
Silly hetero.
Was it a metaphorical
Like
woman,
such
like a ship or a
Neanderthals.
country?
Yeah,
Who's a metaphorical woman?
Was it? It's the
Stephen
one that they're
King?
fighting over? Yeah, Stephen King's it. Stanley
Okay.
and Steve Ditko. Is it a
We
metaphorical woman, like a ship,
Yes.
or a country, or a man?
or a lot of money.
Yeah.
A lot of money.
I think if they were
No,
fighting
I
for
don't
anything,
know.
it
I
was
don't
probably a
know.
lot of money.
Yeah,
It's
probably.
usually what happens in these
Ammunition.
comic book things is somebody gets more credit than they deserve, and
That's pretty much what I've read all these years, is that Stan Lee was essentially just the page boy there, and since they just needed somebody to be the guy running stuff, they put him in charge, and everybody else was like, why the fuck is he in charge? And he started controlling more things than, yeah.
I mean, he is still a credited writer.
He
for all
is,
this.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But back then, a lot of the writing had to do with, let's do a story about the Hulk doing this, and then, they would let it go to the letterer and the the artist would draw something up, and then they would just write in the bubbles that the artist left.
Mm-hmm.
So the story was really much more driven a lot of times by the artists back then than it was by the quote-unquote writers.
Well, the writers will come up with a basic idea.
Sure.
They'll come up with the outline, and then the artist would do everything.
But their argument
And then
is
they put the dialogue in.
a lot of people who are arguing against Stan Lee getting the credit that he has is that his outline was literally, let's have Hulk fight someone this issue.
Yeah.
And so then
But was Stan in charge of them writing like really long diatribes every time? Have you ever gone back and read old comics where they have and you're like, holy shit, there's so much words in that bubble.
There are a lot, and a lot of the problem came from that it was drawn first, and the person who was filling it in had to be like, how do I explain what's actually happening?
Yeah.
So then
You have
you
too
have
much room or not enough room.
right.
I'm
You have all those.
going to need to do a ton of exposition,
Right.
and then a ton of setup for later, and also make sure all the catchphrases get in there, and
Yeah.
also make sure that they set up, and I need to explain what all of my powers are, and backstory. And
Fantastic 487. Well, as you know, Ben Grimm, when you were hit by the cosmic rays and became a rock
Exactly.
It's been years. I know about that.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
fine. That's-
Thank you. He's like, do you remember when Sue and I got married?
Oh, right. Shit.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
I want me to go back and add panels to all of those. And whenever they do those giant expositions, be like, right, I remember now. Fuck.
Well, there's that early X-Men one where Juggernaut is literally breaking into the mansion, and
The first Juggernaut one?
the very first, and Professor X is like, let me tell you a story about how Juggernaut and I, everything about our history. And so the entire time, he's breaking through maybe 4 total walls, and yet Professor X is telling this long-ass story that is taking the rest of the book.
And does Wolverine ever go hey, should we stop and go fight it? No,
This is
wait till I'm
this is
done with this
15
story.
years
Wolverine's
before
not
Wolverine.
there yet.
Okay.
It's funny also because
It's all of his teenage...
So this is like
this is
the
issue
original 5.
Yeah.
This is like issue 12 or
This
something.
is
Yes.
Psyche,
It's
Jean
really
Grey,
early.
Beast, Iceman, and Angel.
Sort of
Snowman.
right after when
Snowman
Professor
Iceman,
Xavier's
yeah.
like, I hope Jean Grey never finds out that I'm in love with her. She would never like an old cripple like me.
Yeah.
Gosh, they all have a type.
Oh, my dick
Oh,
still
yeah.
works.
Everybody in X-Men has a
I
type.
can't feel it, but it works, I
doesn't,
swear.
but
It is
I
all
can use
about
my
redness in that
telekinesis to
book.
fill it with blood!
That's what
What?
Yes, that's canonical.
yeah.
Professor Xavier using telekinesis to fill his own penis with blood so that he can have sex is canonical. Just in
Wow.
case. Is that if that's what you're wondering?
Okay, right now.
Rough.
I'm a retcon Professor X right now. Never been in a wheelchair. He's psychically projecting that to catch somebody off guard one day when he hits them.
He did
Has
die
that
out
ever
of
been
the
done?
wheelchair.
Because that actually
run up on something.
that totally sounds like something Marvel would do. Like 20 years into it, something happens and Xavier just gets up and walks away and is like, no, I've all been mentally projecting you guys that I was crippled for years.
And he's a big
I'm
enough
not-
asshole that it would make sense for
Yeah.
Xavier
But why
to do
wouldn't
that.
he just, why would he mentally project it? Just sit in a wheelchair?
Yeah.
Don't mentally project just sit in a wheelchair! Humans have
I guess he could just stand up, and that would make more sense.
But
Humans have done this before. It doesn't take mental powers.
Yeah, but
but
he wants
what if he
everyone
needs to get up and get a
believing,
coke
you
or
know?
something? He needs to I'm still in the chair and then get up and get a coke.
I'd
and then
wheel
come
yourself into the whole mansion is wheelchair accessible. I guarantee you.
It's true. It's true. Plus, later on it just floats. So, yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's way better. We
I
need to
love
work on
the
that.
chair.
Use telekinesis to bring yourself a coke.
Yeah.
He doesn't have help.
Do you ever, I always thought it was weird when he would
Sometimes he
fall out of the chair and then be helpless on the floor, and I'm like, just fucking float. Just float yourself. I don't. What?
Gene, help me! I've fallen and
Yeah.
I can't get up.
He sits there and muscles through it, and you're like,
Jane, come touch me.
at first,
Yeah,
touch me
Gene,
small, right?
use your powers to lift me into the chair.
I
and
fell
lift
out of my
car.
chair, and you're gonna have to carry me by my bottom back into the chair and,
Oh no!
and wipe me down from my sweat.
Professor, your gun is poking me in my stomach. Do you carry a gun?
It's a huge gun. So,
I mean, he should carry a gun.
I mean,
He's a little cripple in a wheelchair.
he is a gun.
Well, but I mean-
He's a mental gun.
yeah. Didn't you see the last Wolverine?
He's got mind bullets.
I loved the Wolverine goes to Japan.
That was the name of it too. Wolverine goes to Japan, starring.
Thank you.
I really liked that movie
Australian.
until the end when they were like, yeah, Silver Samurai's a robot. And I'm like, and you fucked it up. I mean, it's the other parts that
Everyone's
fucked it up
happy.
too, but honestly, this thing where they're
hate
won't
it.
let characters...
I liked
I
it
didn't
a lot.
hate it, but I would have liked it better if it actually had been an actual samurai. I don't know
I
why they didn't...
mean, yeah.
I'm always more scared of a person with skills than a giant robot that's being operated. I'm never as frightened of
You
that.
may change your mind after I tell you my story today.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Okay,
It has to do with our inevitable AI overlord.
Yay!
good.
Hell yeah.
Good to get some press out there now so they like us later.
Oh, yes. All hail our AI overlords.
All right, so the other big thing that happened is Ant-Man and Wasp came out. So I went and saw this with my buddy, my boss, and our boss, Chris. And
I was invited, but I had to work.
oh wow, so I was the second choice? Shit. Yeah.
I didn't say that.
No, he had one extra ticket because one of his
Because you
boys was out of
didn't
town.
go.
Exactly.
So yeah. So I went with them,
This
and
boy was out of town.
it was interesting because at the end of it, he said he thought Ant-Man and Wasp was in the bottom 5 of Marvel movies. And
He's counting all the
It's
shit
down
doors.
my first thought was time out, Thor 2. At first he said he thought it might be the worst of all Marvel
no.
movies.
Oh.
And I was like, no, Thor 2. Because Thor 2 is it's the
That's
thing I
your
always
age
say when it's
difference.
like, we're talking about bad Marvel movies, it's Thor 2. Which is just boring in large stretches. So, yeah. I thought it was fun. I really
I don't even
liked
remember
it.
the plot of Thor 2. I remember there were...
Malekith, the Dark Elf, gets out of the Dark Dimension. He has he needs the Aether, the Reality Stone. There's like a gravity well, but it's also
That was
I'm not
the door.
answering the door this time.
Yeah.
There's more knocking on the door.
It's a
my
whole
goodness. See, that's the thing I remember is where was
Okay,
it?
welcome back,
Thor
I
2?
guess, because we
Yeah.
just paused it and didn't tell
See,
you.
they don't know that it was paused. It's just a.
I mean,
Well, except you paused it right in the middle
yeah,
of Noah's diatribe.
It's not like it'll just.
No, it
skip
does
all
that
of a sudden,
sometimes,
It'll be
though.
like, yeah, it made sense.
I do.
Sometimes it's like, and that's why, and then he just cuts off and doesn't say anything for a while, and then we talk about something else. So yeah, they don't know.
Skip further.
Except
into
now
your
that we've
Thor
explained
discussion.
it, it's
Either
on the-
way.
it's
You
either way.
also skipped ahead in your Thor discussion a bit.
Ant-Man was the worst.
So Chris
Ant-Man
thought it was
and
the worst.
Wasp was the worst
I
movie
didn't think it was the worst.
No.
It's definitely not
because
the
he's
best.
a red pill men's rights activist, and he doesn't think women should have their names in the titles of movies.
No, I thought. Here's the thing. I thought the Wasp was badass in the movie. I think the Wasp ends up finishing that movie as a far more capable superhero.
Yeah,
I
no
think she
shit.
starts out the movie.
I
as
don't
a-
even.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen it yet, and she fucking flies, and he has to use that bug, which died in the first one, but I guess he's got a new one.
He gets-
No, he has.
Fumbles his
I
way
mean, he has
through
constant.
Exactly.
The
No,
entire movie.
she's a superhero. He's a guy who got a suit and shows up and does his best.
He's
Yeah.
Raised American Hero. Is that what it was?
Not even that.
That's what the show was.
That guy was
Yeah.
training. Ant-Man no longer is training. Like he's. First of all, I did notice this though. Early on in the movie, Paul Rudd takes his shirt off for some reason. I was like, "Oh, holy shit! Paul Rudd is ripped."
It was way better in the
the-
last one when he took his shirt
That's
off.
Yeah.
just the 16 things that all actors in the MCU have to do, and one of them is their
Be ripped?
training. Yeah.
Yeah,
Their gym routine.
yeah. No, it's. But he definitely like at the end of it. If I'm the Avengers, I'm like, oh, you brought Ant-Man. Thanks, Wasp. You didn't have to though. You could have stayed home. Like,
Yeah.
we don't need two
Yeah,
shirking
but hey,
people.
she doesn't get giant though.
She could.
Right.
Giant.
There's no reason she couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then-
well, why doesn't
And when
she?
she does, she then has wrist blasters and wings still.
Well, I mean,
So now she's a giant flying wasp,
it's
which is a far scarier thing. I don't know why we
I
don't
don't
just.
think you can just ramp up the size and still have her fly. I think
no,
that
not at all. Those wings would not carry
Yeah,
her.
those ones wouldn't carry
Carry
her.
her.
Like,
They're pretty light.
because
like,
she's
if you-
so small, they're able to carry her because she's like a wasp.
Right.
But they
If you just
everything
make
on the
wasp
suit
wings
grows.
bigger, they don't work. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, because there's still these really
Because of
thin,
physics.
shitty wings, and also something that big just can't fly.
Spruce goose. No.
Just like the Spruce
Okay,
Goose.
but also,
exactly.
also,
It flew.
it's
For like a second.
the idea is definitely, I thought, given a movie that you need training to go big.
He just did it.
He just did it.
What do you
Yeah.
mean he just
Yeah.
did it? He,
So in Civil War,
well, he did it in
just
Civil
does
War, and he said he's been working on it for a while.
And
And,
this- and-
the
yeah,
last
yeah.
time he did it, this happened. And then Ant-Man and the Wasp, when he's talking to
Bill Foster.
Lawrence Fishburne,
Yeah.
they're like the only two people that have ever done it.
Yeah. No. And I like, too, that the height that he gave, the 20 feet, that was Ant-Man's listed, Giant Man, back when he was Giant Man in the first Avengers.
Oh, yeah?
That was Giant Man's listed, like, he can
Max
grow to a
height.
height of 20 feet.
Yeah.
And that was, like, his big thing, was 20 feet. And then later on, they realized how unimpressive that sounded, and they changed it to, like, 100 or something like that.
Most people max out at like 6 and change. So
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you're Ben's giant family.
Serious.
Well, we can't count those Yetis.
Yeah.
Yeti?
I am
Is
6'1",
Yeti
the
the
littlest
plural
one
of
of
Yeti?
them.
Ghetto.
You know.
Okay.
Ghetto.
He definitely looks bigger than 50 feet when he's in the harbor.
When he's in the harbor, yeah.
But,
So.
plus,
I
he
like
also gets fucked up from doing that.
I like the introduction of the idea that when they go big, they get really, really tired. So it's because
the oxygen.
it makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense that
'cause of
oxygen in their
everything.
blood. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes tons of sense.
He
But then it
just
also
passes
adds this
out.
cooling where if he does it for more than like 5-10 minutes, he just passes out.
The same reason a wasp wouldn't be able to fly if it was that size.
I mean, none of it really makes sense. Like, why does he still have?
No,
Why can he
absolutely.
still punch like man when he's this tall?
Pin particles, don't worry about it.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, that is
'Cause he
explained.
maintains his density or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Except that's
in
also...
physics. I don't
But
get
if he
it.
maintains
I
his
don't
density,
get it, but
why
it's
do the
fully
wasp wings
explained.
work? So
What is what?
if you maintain your density, why then do the wings work? If your density is the same when you're small or big, and the wings are the exact same size, then your body weight and mass are the same.
Density isn't weight.
But density is still, but it's still a compare. The ratio would
Look,
still.
I already admitted. I don't know why
Yeah.
the math or the
Yeah,
science-
no, it doesn't-
The
yeah.
physics works on the keeping density and punching as hard as he does. But I mean, it doesn't quite work because I guess he would punch a hole in the universe or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
I mean, he definitely just destroys somebody by hitting them. Just
Yeah,
go right through
the
him.
game theory guy did a whole thing on how he would like destroy the universe or whatever.
Nice.
Yeah.
But what really doesn't make sense is that the whole reason for him going small is that he removes the space between all of the atoms, but then he goes into the subatomic realm of the quantum realm, which is like, okay, there's no more space left. How are you doing this?
Yeah. And if you are smaller than atoms, how is there still space
Yeah,
left
There's no-
between your
right.
atoms?
You
Exactly.
go through a portal.
Because it's
Yeah.
pin particles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
This
like
is
Speed
superheroes.
Force. It's like the
Yeah.
Speed
Also-
Force or the Geek
or
Force.
Doctor
It just-
Strange,
it
or-
just
yeah.
waves away the.
They didn't say pin particles once in this movie.
I'm totally fine with that.
I was surprised they didn't.
I'm waiting
I-
for them to
here's-
find the pimp particle.
Here's the one thing I mentioned last week on the show. I wanted at least
I
two.
want to see Hank Pimp.
I wanted two Michael Pena stories, and we only really got one, and it was kind of like broken up with.
Well, you could tell the one in the
Yeah.
trailer, which you were gushing over, wasn't really a Michael Pena story in the movie because they were talking over. They were talking as well as he was talking at the same time he was talking.
Well,
So, and that's not how they did it in the movie.
Yeah.
Well, the one he gets is like
Pretty
4 different stories in one.
Yeah, it's 4 little stories, which was nice. No, it's plus with the
Also,
whole.
it wasn't Ant-Man and the Luis.
Yeah, no,
I believe it would be El Luis.
those characters in this movie.
Ant-Man y El Luis.
El hombre de Ant.
It
what
felt like they
Ant
got a
is,
smaller
yeah.
role, but the
Oh,
roles
is it?
the scenes they got were more potent. It was stronger. Except for T.I. I don't feel like T.I. got much to do in this movie.
I'm way more interested in T.I. than Russian Dude.
Yeah, the Russian got his little catchphrase that he got to just keep repeating
Baba
over and over.
Yaga.
Baba Yaga or whatever, yeah.
Baba
Yeah.
Yaga.
Which, that was actually a complaint that I heard
He's
from a
just
couple
talking
people,
about it.
is they felt like the Ghost was not a great villain, but that's because she isn't totally
She's
a
not
villain.
really a villain.
She's more of an anti-hero. To me, the actual villain is
was
the
Walton Goggins.
Walton
Bill
Goggins
Foster.
character.
Well,
There's no like super bad like destroy
No.
the world villain.
Marvel
No.
doesn't have those anymore. They're always trying to do good things as they see it.
Which I actually kind of like. I like that it's
I mean,
not just like,
Thanos
I want to
was
destroy the world. And you're like, why? And
No,
it's like,
Thanos was trying
he's-
to save the.
he's
Which
thinning
I
out
was
the
thinking
herd.
about in the shower this morning because I always
So
think
dumb.
it's Thanos in the shower.
So
I do
dumb.
too.
If
You
you
see
don't,
that head?
then fuck you.
So
Ah.
dumb.
But anyway,
You need more resources. You have just do that.
either double up.
There's
the,
a lot
It's
of
like
things
it's
you
like
can
in
do.
Harry Potter. You can't make new food
Okay,
or magic.
let's say that that's
Dumb.
true, and you can't
Dumb.
do that, but
Dumb.
they do that.
Don't worry about that.
But even then, he's randomly reducing the universe's population by half. There's no guarantee that half the people don't come from one planet, and yet one other planet is still way overpopulated.
See,
Yeah.
okay, I've been arguing that all over with people because I've seen so many people on the internet be like, okay, so he killed half Gamora's planet, then he snapped again, so another half died. Now they're only 25%. Like, no, that's not how it works. He says completely random.
Yeah, he says it's completely random, which I don't know, because then there was a 50-50 chance that he's also gone, which he isn't.
Well, it's random, but
I
he
know.
definitely makes exceptions.
I would
Yeah.
I would
Like, I
have
think-
loved, and I was hoping for a second that that's what would have happened when he snapped and was like, fuck you, bitches.
You know
and then he immediately started dissipating and was like, fuck.
Yeah, but then the gauntlet would still
Yeah,
be there.
yeah,
then
and-
it's
Well, but
like,
the gauntlet
oh,
wouldn't be there.
And then
everybody's back.
Why would the gauntlet be there when nobody's suits are there, nobody's clothes are there?
Captain
nobody's-
Marvel's
Because the gauntlet is a...
Captain Marvel's thing.
Oh, he drops.
He drops that.
He drops that while he's.
Well,
No,
he's
but
just
the gauntlet
And that's
itself
the only thing, and
exists.
that makes
Well,
no sense.
The gauntlet itself exists outside of the normal continuity of
Can it
space and
not
time
destroy
because it is.
itself?
No, it can't destroy itself.
I think it can. Are you saying the gauntlet?
No,
can't
it
destroy
absolutely,
something
it
so
absolutely
powerful
can destroy itself
can
because
destroy
she
itself?
kills Vision with the Mind Stone powers.
Yeah, but the stone still
Which-
exists.
Yes, but she killed him with the powers from the stones, so the stones can destroy themselves. They can destroy each other.
Oh.
Yeah, she That's
It was
exactly
just
what
like a
happened.
big plot point in the movie, Ben.
And then he reversed time and erased
Which was awesome.
any,
Yeah.
Here's the thing,
emotional-
if he snapped,
emotional weight that scene had, but
if he snapped and disappeared, like he's
Which, I mean, if
literally
you're bitching
standing in
about
front of one of the very few heroes
that, I mean, we
that
all
has
know
the power to pick
everybody's
it up
coming
and
back.
undo that.
I mean,
Yeah, no, I actually like that scene. I think that scene was really good because one, I knew it was going to happen as soon as he had
Yeah.
the time stone.
yeah.
I was gonna say.
well, if
time
anybody
stone.
who's read the original story knows
I
that
was like,
Yeah.
everybody
over, none of
dies
this
and then
matters.
everybody comes back.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
how this
I
works.
don't think everybody who died in that movie is coming back. I think the
No.
people who died before the snap
Are done.
Yeah.
are
Loki,
dead.
I don't.
So-
Loki,
Yeah,
Heimdall.
a lot of people-
Heimdall's definitely not
Heimdall's
coming back.
dead, yeah.
Loki,
Because
Gamora.
Heimdall doesn't want to be under contract.
See, I
tomorrow.
really hope Gamora doesn't come back.
I know she will. I'm saying everybody before the snap is dead.
So we know for a fact that she already. I mean, it's.
Oh,
it's
we
already-
do?
She's so the
I know they're
art that's
letting a
come
lot
out.
out.
The art that's come out for the next one, she's in.
Yeah, I know that
is
they.
it real art?
Yeah,
You believe
it's
that
published
Doctor-
by Marvel.
You're,
It was.
okay.
Yeah.
You're just pretty sure Doctor Strange show it was true that it had like scenes where Batman Begins in it.
Well,
so-
and it also had a scene from
Constantine.
him doing
Wait,
some Vincent
Doctor
Van Gogh movie.
Strange had
There was a
scenes
Doctor
from-
Strange trailer years ago that was fan made. It included stuff from a movie where Benedict
Constantine.
Cumberbatch plays Vincent Van Gogh and has a goatee.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I had never seen that
Vincent
movie.
Van Goatee,
and I
yes.
thought, oh shit, how does he have a goatee unless he's playing Doctor Strange? And Velma pointed out that there was stuff from Dark Knight Rises in there, and yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, wasn't it weird when
So-
halfway through the trailer he was like, Doctor Strange!
Everything's just weird and blurry.
I'm
Going,
Mordor.
To be fair, I'm pretty sure I sent the
Something
link.
about
Like
writing Doctor
I watched the
Strange.
first 10 seconds and sent the link. The same way I did when I found when the Flash pilot got released 3 months early, and I put that out there for the group, and I was like, "Holy fuck! I found the Flash pilot." I watched the first 10 seconds and
the
was
one
like,
from the
"Time out!
90s.
Is this real?" And it was like, I'm Barry Allen, and I'm like, "Oh fuck! This is real!" I didn't even finish watching it. I immediately paused it, uploaded it, Dropbox for everybody.
I mean,
and,
that
yeah,
seems to be real there.
that felt
That
pretty
was
real.
real.
So.
But I don't know,
it could have turned into porn at like 30 seconds in, though. I would never have known.
Oh, that'd be so
I would have
great.
already seen it by that point.
Seriously.
But yeah,
I have been rickrolled several times by like I'll download like a new
actual
Game of
Rickroll?
I downloaded a new Game of Thrones episode and it
that?
starts out and it's like boom 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 never gonna give you and I was like son of a bitch.
Oh, wait 1 second.
It cut
That's
to-
fucking brilliant.
It cut to a live like concert of what's his name Astley or whatever
Rick Astley.
Rick Astley and it's like showing the trailer and then it goes dark and then it comes up never gonna and it's like him at a concert doing Never Gonna Give You Up and I'm like what the fuck.
While Rick Rolling may be dead, the dedication
Yeah.
that this takes
Like somebody had
is
to go
amazing.
out, edit the opening credits of Game of Thrones, and then immediately put in that, and then upload it with the fake title. And it wasn't
And
something they did
still-
years
A
ago.
lot of
It was the newest season that everybody was looking for, and they knew everybody was online waiting for it because it was Sunday night.
And does it also still... Do they keep like the rest of the episode on it so that it's the right file download when you download it? So
It was the same. It was
you
right size. It
Oh,
was It was like an hour's worth of. So what's that like 1.2 gigs if it's
Yeah,
720 and 700 if it's an AVI.
If it's
1.2 gigs of
if it's-
Rick Astley.
Yeah.
Well, if it's 720, you can probably get like 700.
Well, if it's an AVI, it'll often be 700 megs for an hour of television or whatever.
Yeah, well, fuck that
So yeah.
conversion.
Anyway, getting back to Ant-Man.
the Wasp.
I thought it was Ant-Man and the Wasp. I
He
thought it was
doesn't-
really good,
he
really fun.
doesn't, He doesn't acknowledge the Wasp.
I'm just going to call it the Wasp movie from now on because that's probably what it should have been called because Ant-Man was a piece of shit through this whole movie.
Fuck this bullshit feminist movie trying to make male heroes look worse.
He's gonna go make the cut without the Wasp. It's just gonna be the Ant-Man.
It's called Ant-Man and...
He was acting a real Star-Lord in this movie, wasn't he?
I don't know if he was that deep.
No, he's not that bad.
Because
I still like
he's
him.
fairly like self-deprecating. Like I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, he
she
doesn't.
seems to be badass.
He's aware he doesn't
Yeah.
know what's happening.
Yeah,
He's very self-aware that he's just a dude who's caught up in this mess.
yeah,
They're really leaning hard into stature.
yes. I did notice that there was 2 or 3 scenes that were like,
Which
she's gonna be Stature.
they cast an older version of her.
Did they? Interesting. So yeah, I thought that was cool. I'm looking forward to
His daughter.
Young Avengers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to Young Avengers someday. That's going to be
I
awesome.
didn't remember the name because she didn't. That wasn't her original name, was it? In the Young Avengers,
I think so.
I thought it was something different.
Ant Girl.
No, I knew it wasn't that because her thing is going big originally, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Big Girl.
Was she Goliath?
Big girl. I thought it was something like Goliath or something. I'm probably wrong though.
Yeah.
You guys have
Was it Girl
probably
Goliath?
read it more.
Isn't there a
Goliath.
Hornet one? Wasn't
Hashtag Girl
Goliath.
Yellow
Goliath.
Hornet?
It's Goliath, but the O is the female.
Yellow Jacket. Wasn't Yellow Jacket one of the shrinky growly ones from Marvel too?
Yellow Jacket was it
Thank
was
God.
growy for a while, and it never made sense that it was growy since a Yellow Jacket is a small bug. But yeah.
Was she not Yellow Jacket?
She?
Plus, when Pym shows up in the Ultimate Universe, he shows up as Yellow Jacket first.
Yeah.
And he's like fucking people over and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Beating the fuck out.
But no, I thought it was really funny. It was really. I mean, it's an Ant-Man movie, so it's. I thought a lot of the reviews that I read pointed out that this is the Valve pressure release from Infinity War. That Infinity War was like sadness and tension and building and fighting, and this was the.
Let's not pretend that it didn't have its share of jokes.
Oh, it had a ton of jokes.
It just ended on a darker note than
Yeah.
most Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is like in terms of Marvel movies that
It's
I would
just
call
a
actual
basic
comedies.
fun comedy.
It's Ant-Man 1,
Yeah.
Ragnarok, and this are the movies that I would actually call the rest of them are more it's like a 60-40 action comedy split. This is more comedy than action. This is
You think that the action is 60 and the comedy's 40 in most Marvel movies?
yeah.
I don't see that at all because they use comedy to Valve release from the action, but they also use it to release from all the dramatic points. So after an action thing, there's quips, and throughout it, there's quips. So I think it's
It's 60-40. Oh, you saying it's 50-50?
It's at minimum 50-50 because then you have somebody dying and then a cape does weird stupid shit and you're like lol. So
Yeah, you're
every
lulling
time
throughout. Every little bit is sort of a lull.
Exactly.
Action beats are lull action.
Yeah.
right, and then every time there's drama, God forbid we be able to care that somebody died for 2 whole goddamn minutes. Something funny happens to relieve that pressure, and it's like no, you actually let pressure build up before you relieve it.
Yeah.
And so I think most Marvel movies these days are 50-50 at best.
I think they've been improving. I don't know if that's an overall thing, but I think I like Ragnarok. That was very jokey, but they didn't
It's mostly jokey.
Yeah, it was mostly jokey. But they didn't do.
But they also didn't
I'd
take
say
much
Black
seriously.
Panther. They took
Black
it
Panther
seriously,
takes a lot of
and
seriously.
It's actually
Yeah.
during the scenes. Yeah. So I think guess there's not that many. I'm saying, but I think Infinity War took itself seriously at serious moments at the end and stuff. They didn't start making jokes.
I think
It was mostly at the beginning throughout, and then they still made some jokes in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah.
well, I
They
know one
definitely
of
were
the
making jokes, like Star Wars making jokes and stuff.
Yeah.
Points.
which too much.
Yeah.
Too much. Yeah.
For that one, yeah. I think, well, the whole thing about Drax being like, what is Gamora? Or whatever, they're like, where's Gamora? Who's Gamora? And then, he's like, what's Gamora?
Why is game? Yeah.
Why? That was what
is
it was,
Gamora?
whatever. I guess that was improvised, and people were like, he's so hilarious. I just think that he's an idiot and thought that was his line.
How dare you?
Well,
How
that's
dare you?
I think he's actually growing into this part. I
well,
think
but that's why
initially-
the part is the part it is.
Well,
He's
I think
not
initially
an
it was
intelligent character.
written because he was such a bad actor. I think he's gotten a lot better. I think Blade Runner 2049 showed that he actually can be serious in scenes. And
What about his?
Was he?
What about his star-making turn as Mr. Hanks?
where he says shit, that's his one line the whole movie.
Shit.
Yeah,
Then he
I didn't
sucked
see
it.
that one.
Hey, but he also jabbed that.
those were cool.
He crushed dude's skull with his thumbs.
His thing, you know how every Bond villain has to have a thing. His thing was he had metal thumbs. He would jam them in your eyes.
But they weren't metal thumbs. They were just they were just
covers.
thimbles on his thumbs.
Yeah.
And he
Scary thimbles.
The thimble.
yeah.
Let me get the.
I'm the thimble.
It's like, I'm gonna stab at your eyes and later I'm gonna sew and not hurt my thumb at all.
It was dumb
Put
because
fucking lotion in the basket. Is that really how he talks during it?
I mean, it's Batista, so yeah, he talks like that. So it's,
One, he doesn't talk like Buffalo Bill.
wow, he doesn't talk. He says he doesn't talk at all.
No.
yeah, Inspector, he only has the one line. and
He
it's full
should
of
have.
shit.
He should
And
have.
it's right before he gets hit by a train.
He should have tried to use those things on James Bond at some point. Why I don't know. He only used them once.
Normally, in a moment like that, like the villain will try to use their gimmick, and Bond will overcome it.
Face.
Yeah, like like Jaws will try to bite him with something, and he'll fuck him over at the last minute, something like that. Yeah, he'll do something
in the
that
nose because that's what you do to the shark. Punch him in the nose.
Yeah. So,
I was like, ow, that really hurt.
I don't know. So for those of us that saw Ant-Man, like,
we're not done with Spectre.
Yes, we're always done with Spectre.
Remember when he grilled into his head?
Those okay. So everybody else who saw the Wasp,
I think I've talked about more about Ant-Man and the Wasp.
What did Velma and Noah think of the Wasp?
I liked the Wasp. It was good. I enjoyed it. I'd say we talked about it. What I said was, well, he said sort of the thing is, it's overall probably a worse movie than the first one.
Okay.
But the little parts, I think there are better parts in this one. There are parts I liked more in this one than the first one.
The highs are higher, the lows are lower.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
I'd say that fits it. It is one of the lower Marvel-ish movies, but it's also just a little above mid-range.
This is what I would say. Like, if I cut them all in half, this one would be at the top half of the bottom tier.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
It's good. I always have fun watching them.
That's just not
Just always have fun.
I always have fun.
In general.
No, but
I was a fun guy.
Fuck other emotions.
Whenever Ant-Man or Wasp fight, it's amazing.
Yeah. Agreed.
Mm-hmm. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
I hope the Ghost comes back. I'd like to see more. I liked the Ghost character in the comics. I was excited when I saw that they were going to use Ghost. I always thought that was a cool character. This, like, techno.
She still exists. So it'd be cool if she had like some heroic elements, and we could see her do.
Serious, I'm down for her. I think the Marvel Universe needs these. I'm not a hero. I'm not a villain. I exist for my own purpose, and I then can come into stories and just fuck with it. And like Catwoman in the DC universe, where it's like, is she good guy? Is she a bad guy? She's her. She's on her team, and that's her thing. And so you just need to be cool with that. I like that. I like that kind of a character. I think that's cool.
Oh, I'm excited for more Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
The blade sword thing. We didn't even see it get used.
Well, that's her wings.
That was her wings.
No, it's a sword thing.
So
There's like an
she
image
took
of
her wings and made them
end.
into like a weapon. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It is a blade sword thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I spent the whole movie. No, it is. I spent the whole movie trying to figure out if it was a sword or just her wings.
The way that it looked on her, it looked like
because it
she
is
broke these two wings,
yeah,
and then these two wings were still in place. But then later on, I felt like
she was holding it at the end. They showed her in the
holding it like a staff, and it was like, oh, cool. So it's like her.
Ultimately, the biggest question
Fighting
of the
stuff off
movie
down
is where'd she get a cloak in the?
I wondered the same
in
fucking
the
thing.
quantum realm, and I think the answer is she got it from the same place Red Skull got his cloak,
And the same place Dr. Doom got his cloak when he was on that planet.
Stanley.
the negative zone.
Yeah, or whichever one.
Stanley's
In
getting
the
people's
shitty
clothes.
news.
Yeah,
Fan
negative
Force
zone.
Yeah. In Fan Force,
Those would be fun, like cutscenes, where it's just
Come
like
back with a cloak.
she's just in the negative, like in the Quantumverse, like crying, like no, it's here. It's like, you want a cloak? And it's like, Excelsior! Just walks away.
He appears on that other planet, and Red Skull's
If they
there.
ever do
It's so
that-
cold.
You look cold,
So cold.
buddy. Grow some hair. Here's a cloak. And then there's another scene with him in the Watchers, and he's like, I don't have any more cloaks. People keep taking my.
And that's where it gets the cloaks. Have you seen their sweet cloaks?
Serious? Can I get another cloak?
He's like, I love your cloaks. They're so big to fit your heads in them.
Here's Stanley says like Harvey Weinstein a little bit.
Hey, Utao the Watcher. I'm gonna jerk off in this plan.
Utao. You mean Uatu?
Utao!
You mean Uatu?
Utao!
Okay.
His name is Utao!
Wait.
Utao the Watcher! How do you spell it?
Uatu. You
It's
spell it
Uatu.
I
Uatu.
was about to say Uatu.
UATU.
Yeah, but Utao sounds cooler.
Uatu.
Uatu's a little... Uatu's one of my favorite Marvel characters. Utao. I love the Watcher. He's so bad at his job, though.
Oh, because he keeps interfering. with
Yeah,
stuff.
and every time he shows up, he's like, "Oh, I
Possibly.
can't interfere."
That'd be
It's
funny.
like the
Here's
fat
a-
lady
here's
at
a
the
computer.
Oak Man at the the
Opera.
cookout or whatever, and he's like, "Oh, I can possibly have some cake. It does look delicious, though. I mean, I'm on a diet, so I couldn't. I mean, I couldn't if I wanted to. It's against my diet. I mean, one little piece isn't gonna kill me."
I want to see him have like a performance review where they're like, so last year there was 39 events that you watched and you interfered with 37 of them. That's right. Yeah. It's like, okay, what the fuck, Watu?
Hey.
I mean, We've had talks about this.
Hey, Utao.
Did you?
It's a Watu.
First off,
Whatever.
it's a Watu.
Did you give the ultimate nullifier to some human?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but he was real smart.
He's a really good guy. Yeah.
But those two that I didn't interfere with, perfecto, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They
Yeah, but there was nothing. You watched Stan Lee eat a hot dog, and but I didn't interfere. He wanted mustard. I didn't give him any. So,
Perfect.
points.
Hot dog was a little cold.
Anyway.
Isn't he
Not
dead now?
alter space.
Utao!
I think he's dead.
Yeah, Nick Fury killed him.
Watu.
Yeah, in the
Utao
original
might be
sin.
dead.
Utao's alive. It's his
Watu
twin
is
brother.
never. Yes. Oh, the other way around. Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, Nick Fury killed him, and then...
It's Nick Fury Sr.
Yeah. I was reading... Oh, I was reading Silver... I was
man.
reading Dan Slott's Silver Surfer.
Senior one.
And he's like, oh, I need to go ask Uatu for help. Even though I know he can't.
But
But he always
I
does.
like the idea that
knows
Nick
he
Fury
air
can
quotes
go talk to
can't.
a celestial being whenever he wants.
No, Silver Surfer.
Silver Surfer, yeah.
So he goes up to the moon, and he's like, he sees Nick Fury there in the cloak with like his face hidden because he's the Watcher now, and he's like, "Who the fuck are you?" And he's just like,
I'm white Nick Fury.
"No, Nick Fury's a real dickhead about it." He's like, "Don't worry about who I am. Just know I'm an asshole."
He's also Harvey Weinstein.
hey, Silver Surfer, you want this role? We're gonna put lesbian scenes in your Frida movie, Silver Surfer.
I want you to give me a massage. Ah.
I'm gonna make you the next Lucy Liu.
Interesting note.
My doctor's name is
What-
Lucy Liu.
Oh my god.
No
I
shit.
kid you not.
Oh.
I'm like, I have an appointment with Dr. Lucy Liu.
Just Dr. Lou at that point. I would never, yeah. I would change it to Lucille Lou if it was her.
Lucille Liu, that's
Pretty
awful.
young, but that does sound like a frumpy old school marm.
Yeah. Or the mom from Arrested Development.
Lucille.
Lucille.
Lucille. Yeah.
Lucille.
You guys seen the new half of the new season? Or whatever?
I'm
No.
binging all of it
I
to
liked
try to
it.
catch up. I'm in the.
I just haven't watched it. I don't know.
I'm currently halfway through the reformatted
I
season
didn't
4.
watch that. I'm
I've-
not watching that.
I've heard it's worse than the original season.
I've heard it's better.
So I saw
But I
I saw
liked
the
the
season 4
original.
when it first came out. I didn't care for it because
And
it was.
I
Did
have
you
the
ever
mental
watch it
capacity
again?
to understand that things aren't happening in linear order, so I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Well, now there's a ton of recaps. Is my only problem. Every episode
Yeah,
completely recaps the last 5, and so you're left with like there was like 10 minutes of content in that episode.
Well, yeah, and that's
it wasn't
they
made like that.
Sort of poke fun at that in the beginning of season 5, where the first episode is ostensibly a recap of season 4 for the people who just couldn't fucking get it even after they reformed everything.
Jeez,
I didn't have a problem with season 4.
I'm liking it.
I liked season 4 the first time around.
If you watch it again in the original format,
Yeah.
it's awesome. It's way better because
I've only watched it once, but I got it.
I'm doing it as I'm watching it now.
yeah.
I guess that was the main problem. People weren't getting it. People had a problem with the fact that things happened out of linear order.
Yeah.
The way it followed one character per, you know.
Which I guess is why they've added all these cutbacks to the.
Well, because
Although
a lot of it was
each
interactions
cutback
from
does
a different point of view.
Yeah,
So,
each cutback does add a little bit. So like, although now I've gotten to the point where I've watched the show enough that anytime anybody just bumps into somebody and they have a quick line and they're like, "Oh, that was nobody," it was not nobody. It is always one of the other like when Joe walks out of a market and a large woman with a floppy hat walks in. That was clearly George Senior. Obviously, like it's always something. Yeah, it's always I've now got to the point where I can just get that.
yeah,
stuff.
I bet you lose a lot of kind of the jokes in
Little bit.
in that season if you're watching it in linear, just a linear order with that. Oh well.
Well, no,
People want
it's
it.
not a linear order. It's still jumping all around, and then they come back and show you bits and pieces. And
Is
it's
it?
yeah.
I read that they put it in chronological order.
no, I think they just recut it like the original
it's
season.
mostly like chronological order. I don't know.
But it would be
It's,
most
it's still fun. I'm liking it. I don't know.
Do they?
Season 5's good though.
Do they? Because this is something I still have a little problem understanding with season 4. Do they fix the or did they help you figure out the whole roofie circle?
they do a whole episode on the roofie circle where they just show how Job gets stuck in a roofie circle, and that every day he comes to his mirror and his mirror says, "Hey, you banged some slut last night. Go take a roofie," or to something to that effect. And he goes, "Oh shit!" And he goes and takes another roofie every single day, not remembering that he took one the day before to forget whatever that was.
Yes.
And so now it's like 6 months later, and he's been taking a roofie every single day to forget the night before. The night before was 6 months ago.
Until the one night that he really wants to forget, and
he's
he
out of
has
roofies.
to use the roofie on Michael.
Well, yeah, that, yeah.
I love that.
And then eventually the mirror fades to the point where, like, the warning message they wrote to himself to take a roofie has now faded. And now he just takes the roofies out of habit. That's like his medication in the morning. He's like, no. Like, and it's, yeah. So, it's been pretty fun. I liked the Fantastic Four stuff. That's really, really fun.
Honey, where are you, Daddy? Needs to
His
get rock song. Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. And all the guest stars are pretty cool. So, all right. So,
Except the Workaholics.
The who?
The Workaholics.
I didn't like, yeah. That was
I don't
like those. I like Adam Devine, whatever his name is.
Yeah, the main
He's
one.
grown on me, but the other two guys, I'm still,
You mean Durs and Blake?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, so the people that saw The Wasp, we liked it, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too. So, all right. People go see The Wasp.
I hated it.
If you haven't seen The Wasp, go see it. Ken should go see it.
We'll talk about it.
I think it would have been better if there was some titties in it.
What's this Wasp business? Get this Wasp out of here.
We're here for the ant.
What's wrong with the costume?
So
Can't see any tits.
You did mention Catwoman. Are we going to talk about the wedding? Because now we know.
Well, we talked about it spoiled last week.
Well, right, it was spoiled, but now we know like what the whole that it was Bane, and he's been controlling everything since before. Shit, I don't read the Batman, so I don't know. I thought you guys kept this up.
I'm not caught up.
I'm not reading Batman either.
All right. Well, apparently Bane's been pretty much puppeteering every single thing, possibly even the creation of Gotham and Gotham Girl, all to bring this one end to Batman's wedding.
Oh yeah, because Batman beat him real good early on in Tom King's run.
Yeah.
And so Bane's been planning
So
into
this
that.
is
See, I like that we're making Bane smart again. It felt like we were making Bane kind of a side character for a bit. And
Makes a
the
lot
whole,
of Batman and Robin.
yeah, well, in the animated, there's been a lot of
Well, it
things
was
where they
Dave
make
Bautista.
Bane.
He couldn't get the lines down, so they had to cut them and just make grunts.
God.
Seriously, no, like the professional wrestlers that have been acting for the last, I swear, The Rock like set a new bar, and everyone else oh shit, and now it's much worse.
Also, kind of, I mean, yes, professional wrestlers have been doing acting for almost as long
Poorly.
as there's been
Very,
professional
very
wrestling. Professional wrestling. That's what I want to compete in. Professional wrestling.
How many black guys you have to rest to become a professional?
Professional wrestling.
Oh, I thought you said
Good
wrestling.
Lord! Wow.
Oh, okay.
I think black guys are just worth more points. I think that's.
Oh, okay.
Are
white guys worth negative points?
rest with a
It's
black
like
guy?
your score is based on the darkness, so it's like
It's who you are at.
there's pale white people, there's Mexicans, there's it's darker the more points.
If I were a cop, I'd be like the cop from Crash.
I got pulled over last night and got a warning.
Oh, yeah?
And I was like, thank God for whiteness, and I just kept driving. Yeah,
Because you're shot in the face. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's.
So I was just driving without my headlights
What was the
on
one-
at night.
What the fuck?
Why were you doing that?
So
How do you even do that? My car is older than shit, and it automatically turns the lights on.
So here's the thing: my normal car does not have automatic lights. I was driving my wife's car, which does have automatic lights, but they were turned to the off setting because on the 4th of July
Because we're saving them
we
for
had a
Christmas.
battery thing going on. And we were fucking with the lights and stuff. We were trying to turn off all the power so the car could conserve energy as much as it could. The lights would not turn off even when they went.
Isn't this a brand new car?
Yeah, we're having all kinds of battery problems. So got jumped and it's fine.
Anyway, Bane's
anyway,
been controlling Batman from the beginning of, I guess, Tom King's run.
There was a story early on, probably around then, and it would have been after the Gotham Girl stuff, but it makes sense because there's a Catwoman heavily involved in that Bane run where, they have a conversation. We don't see it, basically. We miss, we skip a bit and jump forward, and then we see that, Catwoman betrays Batman first, but then helps save Batman. So
What?
there's, this idea of...
Catwoman did that?
Yeah, right?
No way! I mean,
So-
oops, I forgot to be surprised.
I don't remember the story incredibly well, but I could see where that
Is
there
this the
could be
one
that, but I
where-
don't understand. You said
Is this
he
one
said
where Drake-
Flashpoint Batman was there.
or no, two of them.
Flash
Damien,
Batman is there. That's
Damien
the
and
only-
Todd go to Santa Prisca and steal Psycho Pirate or something like that. Is that
Yeah.
part of that story?
Yeah, that's part of that.
Okay.
Second
I didn't
part.
understand most of the words in that sentence.
Okay.
Yeah, Psycho Pirate was dealing with the Gotham girls. He was sent.
He needed Psycho Pirate
Amanda
to heal
Waller was
Gotham
using
Girl.
Gotham Girl. Yeah, this whole thing.
Right, but
Yeah.
Psycho Pirate was a prisoner of Bane at the time.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, yeah, the only really unexplained one in there, in the article I read, was Flashpoint Batman. And that may be, they suggested it might be a lookalike or whatever, but that still doesn't even make sense because when the Button universe, or whatever the fuck it was called, was collapsed in on itself, that didn't exist anymore.
Yeah, it stopped existing.
So Bane shouldn't even know about it. Although Psycho Pirate might know about it because Psycho Pirate has been, in the past, he's known about other sort of universalities that have been going on. So if he knew about it and was like, "Hey, there's this guy and this other, because he's been helping Bane, and I guess having something to do with the actual creation of Gotham and Gotham Girl themselves. I don't really know.
Yeah,
because I don't read it, so
I need to catch up on it because it sounds. I mean, it probably makes sense if you read it, but outside of it, you're like, "What?
Yeah.
Huh?" But it sounds like knowing at least the start of it, that Bane one storyline, I could see. Okay, I could see this sort of all connecting.
And I guess like Holly Robinson, not Holly Robinson Pete, had something. Like every time I see that, I'm like, Holly Robinson Pete's in this?
Oh my!
No, I guess she was. His right hand woman or something in the whole thing. I don't really know.
Weird.
All right.
I don't know Catwoman. Why is she involved?
Yeah,
It's a lot of stuff.
So
that needs
the
to be
thing
known.
is, I guess they've. She's not in on it. They've been manipulating her to both feel for Batman in the way that she wants to get married, but then convincing Batman that the world needs, or trying to convince Batman that the world needs Batman, and if they get married, that wouldn't happen. So the reason she leaves him isn't to, fuck him over. It's so that the world still has Batman.
Oh, okay.
We know full well as soon as a Batman falls, another one
Rises.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of the whole point of Batman. Is that he's like a symbol.
And why do Batman fall?
So that
They can pick themselves back up.
Right, or so that my point was so that another one would pick themselves up.
Same thing that happens to anybody else.
Like,
Yeah.
hey, Bruce, you've been Batman for 1,000 years. Why don't you let one of the many adult children you have that you've been training to take over from you?
Just like they did
do
last
it.
time you died.
And maybe you should have your favorite one, Tim Drake, do it.
I don't know. I think this Azazel guy.
I don't
Looks
think he's
really
a
good.
Bring back John Paul Valley.
I liked the Jean Paul Valley character. I thought that was cool. But I'm always intrigued by that's why I like the Jason Bourne series so much. I love the idea of somebody who's got training in their
Jason Bourne
brain.
would
and
make
then-
a great Batman.
Yes, he would. But somebody who's got training in their brain and they don't know it, and then it gets unlocked. I'm
My
always
favorite
intrigued
part
by that kind
about
of story.
the Jason Bourne movie is that it's essentially the Long Kiss Goodnight without a pesky woman involved.
Oh my. I don't
Sort
know.
of, yeah.
Yeah, it's the exact same movie, only she has actual.
Wow. It is also
Damn.
a book that came out 30 years
I mean,
before
the
The
Long
Long
Kiss
Kiss
Goodnight is
Goodnight.
way cheesier too. It's
Sure.
it's way more pulpy.
It's
So-
older, so more action movies were like that back then.
True. Yeah.
I love the scene in Long Kiss Goodnight where her student sees her with the gun smoking, and she gives him a smoke and says, if you tell anybody about this, I'll blow your fucking head off.
I like the
like
chefs
that.
do that scene. That's always fun.
Let's do that.
I like Long Kiss
Don't
Goodnight.
they?
Just randomly chopping shit and then throws a knife across the room and just sticking shit. Chefs do that. It's like, how the fuck you go to sleep in that house that night? I'd be like Ben Affleck in what was it, the Gone?
Last Boy Town.
No, the Gone Girl movie or Girl Gone or
Gone Girl.
Gone Girl.
Gone Baby Gone.
Daredevil.
And he's trying to go to sleep in that house, and I'm like,
Daredevil
don't go to
2.
sleep in that house.
Oh.
Don't go to sleep in that house. She killed Dookie House, or she'll kill you too. No, don't go to sleep in the house. Gosh.
You said Baffleck. I heard Bruce Willis. Which is why I
Same.
said Gone Baby Gone.
Same
Which is
thing.
also not a Bruce Willis movie,
No.
but a Ben Affleck movie.
Casey, I believe. But
Yeah, but Ben Affleck directed it.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So, so we talked about the Batman thing.
Yeah, what else is happening?
1 second here. All right. So,
Welcome back again.
welcome back. So, I think that covers all the general topics, unless anybody else has any.
Ant-Man.
What's that?
All the Ant-Man. We covered all the
All
Ant-Man.
covered Ant-Man. We covered Batman's
we
wedding.
covered it?
We covered Steve Ditko dying.
Steven
Yes.
Ditko.
I don't know why I'm
Yeah.
pointing at me when you say that.
So let's go ahead to the
Because you're to blame for Steve Ditko dying.
all your fault.
Fuck you.
Why'd you kill Steve Ditko?
It was on purpose.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
You killed him on purpose. He went to his reclusive apartment.
So
Yeah.
okay, so now that we've done the general stuff, what do you guys pick for
stories?
your personal stories, your picks?
Well, my
Noah, do you want first?
oh shit.
No,
Who's starting? Do we have an order?
You go.
I mean, I pointed at you, but we can.
Okay.
You are the order.
The
You can
first
go.
order?
No.
The first in the order.
Bring balance to the Geek Force.
Okay. Oh, that's good. That's good. Did somebody say that earlier?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
It's okay.
My first story.
You can acknowledge that it was okay. It was good.
Okay. My first story. We got a little buddy by the name of Hawkeye
Okay, yeah, I know this story too.
who has joined the Spawn movie. Hawkeye, of course, will be playing Spawn.
Wait, what?
No.
Is it
They are
Jamie Foxx?
tired of all these black actors in
Foxx
all
is-
these movies.
Jamie Foxx is playing
Jamie
Spawn,
Foxx
yeah.
which
playing.
is no Michael J. White, but he's okay. I'll accept Jamie.
Wait, so is Jeremy Renner now playing clown? Is that what we're thinking?
No, he's a detective.
He's one of the.
He's taking over the John Leguizamo role?
Yes, he's gonna eat the maggots. So
I have no idea. Okay, so
We're talking about
No, it's story.
Jeremy back up again.
yes, Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner, that's right.
you pointed at me like I was Jeremy.
And he's playing some kind of detective
Oh, you
now.
wish.
Yeah, so I do wish.
Jeremy Renner's dream.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, my wife keeps getting Jeremy Renner and Jason Bateman confused.
Well, she's wrong.
Yeah,
and they look totally different.
They are two
Fuck.
totally different people.
What the
I think their
fuck?
names both start with J, so she's like, it's
And
the
they're
same.
white guys. But other than
Similar
that,
enough
they
looking
don't
white
look...
guys.
Like, Jason Bateman has more of a traditional Hollywood face, and...
And Jeremy Renner's more craggy.
Yeah.
They're both kind of douchey, though.
His face is more craggy.
Both
Really?
kind of assholes.
No.
Really?
I don't know their personal things.
I think so.
I don't know.
I think so. Are you just
every
making
interview-
pure conjecture?
Yes.
The interviews that I've seen...
I think so. My personal opinion.
Well, like when
I see
Scarlett
Jason
Johansson...
Bateman being a dickhead.
he was doing interviews with Scarlett Johansson, and when somebody started asking her questions, like, about her suit and blah, 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 didn't he stand up for her and be like,
he also
don't ask
was
her
talking,
questions like
making
that?
like rape joke about her.
Oh, that was what Scarlet Witch.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah, that's
And
funny.
it's- Well, but it wasn't...
Uh-oh.
It felt like it was a lot more... It was a lot jokier than... It was. It definitely wasn't even kind of serious. It wasn't... I think they were doing it to make fun of the reporter more than anything else. If I remember the story about it correctly. It was a sarcastic, like you shouldn't be asking questions like that type thing, is where I thought he was going with it. Because it was him and Chris Evans at the same time, wasn't it?
There's three of them.
Yeah. And
I'd
it
like
was-
I'd like to get Jeremy Renner and Chris Evans at the same time.
Wow.
I don't think so. Question.
Obviously.
I mean, if they were mocking them, I think for. I don't remember the question. What was
I don't remember either.
it? Was about Scarlet Witch?
I can't remember now. So, but no, I remember something vaguely about that. I can remember both stories though, about them making rape jokes and then also them sticking up for Scarlett Johansson and being like, you know, why don't you ask me about my costume? Why don't you ask me about... Yeah, so, yeah, I don't know.
Hey, they did one thing right. They can't
They
be
did-
good.
well-
They can't be bad then.
But at the same time, are they assholes because they did one bad thing and...
No,
Okay,
I'm just saying.
alright. Okay, so
Apparently
good for him for getting it rolled. Oh,
Yeah,
Ken's
they
fact
called
checking.
Black Widow. They referred to Black Widow respectively as a slut and a whore. Evans apologized. Renner offered something else, is all they said.
Yeah, he sort of just said, "Hey, you know, I didn't realize. I'm sorry, I didn't realize other people would get mad at this. I didn't realize people were gonna be upset and cry at the politically correct or something like that." He just sort of said stuff like that about how, "Oh, I'm sorry, you guys reacted the way you did. I didn't realize that you were gonna react like that."
I am sorry that this tasteless joke about a fictional character offended anyone. It was not meant to be serious in any way, just poking fun during the exhausting and tedious press tour, he finally eventually said.
Sorry if it offended anyone.
I see. So
It's
I'm
just
putting
in
that
the
kind
way.
of a comment in the same place that like Noah's inappropriate comments go.
I hate the Jews.
There you go. So I don't take that seriously from Noah in the same way
Right,
that
Noah's not doing it during press tours to begin with.
no,
so-
Noah's doing it on a podcast.
And we
With
still
one-
have a-
with one listener. No
Hey,
less.
18 to 20
Listen,
listeners.
if I take issue with it and I'm on the podcast,
That's true.
you can imagine other people will.
That's true.
We're getting on Twitter. Eventually, yeah. people are going to take a lot of issue with everything that's been said on this podcast.
I'll fight any fucking Jew or Mexican that wants to come after me for all the shit I've
But
done.
only those races.
Only those two. Asians, blacks, whites.
Nope.
They're all safe.
They're all safe.
Just the Jews and the Mex, you know.
Anyway, all right. So that's the story for you is.
Well, he's joining Spawn and the
Your hero and red pill activist Jeremy Renner. Did what now?
I don't
Yes.
know about that.
He's joining Spawn, and it's the Spawn is not like the
Main
focus of the movie. It's about like two detectives. It's Jeremy Renner and somebody
Interesting.
else.
Twitch and what's his name, right?
Are those who
Twitch and Stitch?
Twitch and
What the
Jive.
fuck's their name?
Lilo?
God damn it, don't make me look more shit
I'll
up,
look it up.
people.
You don't have to look it up. I'll look it up, bud.
But anyway.
Twitch and Squiggy.
No.
Special Muzzle, House of Pepper Incorporated.
And also Todd McFarlane's directing it, so it's gonna be.
Oh yeah, so you know it'll be great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be
Well, and
interesting.
and I
yeah,
understand
Detective
it's
Twitch
like
Williams.
it's an indie like Blumhouse film. So it's gonna be one of these like the teenage horror movies that keep coming out, like Truth or Dare stuff like that.
Oh,
Yay.
Yeah.
I'm down. Happy birthday. What was it? It's your
What was
birthday? Birthday girl?
Happy Death Day.
Happy
Death
Death Day.
Day.
Yeah.
That was one of
Yes.
the better ones.
Everything I said was a bad title.
Unfriended. There's now the new one, The Dark Web. You seen trailers for that?
Was
Okay, my
Unfriended?
daughter brought that up the other day, and I'm like, "What the fuck is that?"
Oh, God.
She
yeah.
watches trailers on YouTube without.
Yeah,
me
but you don't know
around.
what it is?
No.
You should look at the trailer.
It's called The Dark Web. Is it about child porn?
Is it about trafficking?
If they find a computer that is linked to the dark web, and yeah, it's about trafficking.
Aren't all computers linked to the dark web? Or the
I don't know. But it's one they found like it was
No.
it was left in Lost and Found for several weeks, and so they opened it up, and it has like it already
And
has.
they're on like the Silk Road and shit. And
Yeah, they like see videos of people being in captivity and stuff, and in mazes or
Shit.
dark
Sandwich.
places and stuff. But it's all
Sandwich?
filmed
Yeah.
from you're watching their
Twitch
cameras.
Williams, right?
So it's just these group of people talking to each other.
Isn't that his name?
it's like a whole webcam movie.
Yeah,
Oh, no, I didn't
they did
saw
the
it.
first one too,
Me
and they
neither.
made enough to make a second one. The first
Wow.
one wasn't about the dark web; it was just a horror movie with cameras like that, where they like got killed, one gets taken out. You're like,
Oh,
"Ah!"
yeah. Oh, so that's the Dark Web movies like that too?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, but it's crazy because they're all on
The
it. And
Spawn
then,
movies
and
gonna
then
like
those-
that too.
One of
It's
those
all them
egg-
Skyping about the case.
one of those had the nobody. They haven't put a profile picture up yet. Thing pops up, and and then just a bunch of them start popping up. They're who are these people?
Bitters.
Or trolls.
Ah. And they're like, you have to do what we say.
It's all Russian trolls.
It's all Russian bots.
It looks bad.
Sounds terrible.
I heard they were going to make a movie using only the backup cameras on cars.
Hell yeah.
Legit, that actually is the thing that happened.
I'm
They
down.
shot a whole movie just using
Man.
the backup camera on a car.
Hope they can take off that fisheye.
No, they left it on there. It's fun.
Oh,
I think
good.
I'm too old for this world now.
A little bit. Which to me, is like something like that, it feels like one of those like, well, what's it about? Doesn't matter. It's,
At least someone should have tried
it's-
it.
Sort of like the first time someone's like, I'm gonna write a book on Twitter.
yeah,
It's like, just because there is new technology doesn't mean you have to use it in.
But I think for these people, they're like, oh, it does. That's exactly what it means.
I mean, like, why not?
And then I'm reminded of
Because they're garbage.
the Jeff Goldblum line. Your scientists are so excited they could, they didn't decide if they should. It's like, yeah.
I'm
Just because
often,
you can write a book on Twitter doesn't mean you should. Please don't do that.
I'm often reminded of the Jeff Goldblum line. What is it? Welcome to Jurassic World. Right?
Yes.
Was that the line? The
That
very
was
last
the
line of that
line.
shitty movie?
Which I like that it was like, wait, so in the sequel to Jurassic World, you have the line, welcome to Jurassic World, at the very end of that movie? You're like, yes.
It's all building up to Jurassic World. You had no idea. You didn't even realize it.
See, what you didn't realize was the first one should have been Rise of the Jurassic World, and then, and then we're going Planet of the Apes style.
I was gonna
It's
say,
like
next is Beneath the Jurassic World,
Yeah.
next is Return
War
to
of-
Jurassic World.
War of the
Sorry,
Jurassic World.
no, now this one's actually Jurassic World.
It's like
So it's gonna
it's
be
like Daniel Craig's James Bond. We have 4 origin movies,
Jeez.
Yeah.
and on his final movie, it won't be.
I feel like Skyfall should have been the
Shit,
final.
4 orgy movies?
Skyfall feels like one where,
Origin.
like in
Oh.
Skyfall, they're telling him, like, oh, you're too old, you shouldn't be Bond anymore.
Well, here's the
Like,
the problem is
and then
and
he
they're
goes
gonna
back to
pick
his
the new
familial home.
he completely finishes the whole origin at the end of Casino Royale.
Yeah,
but then Quantum of Solace is a direct sequel to that, so we have to keep it going. And then they just go to Skyfall, where they're like, "You're an old dog," and it's like, no, Casino Royale was his first mission.
This is his third movie.
Yeah.
How can you be an old dog?
So when do they pick the new Bond? Like, does this have to die for them to pick the new Bond?
No,
Daniel Craig.
It's just whenever
Daniel Craig died.
No.
It's whenever the actor decides to stop.
James
doing
Bond.
movies.
Which is
Like,
after this one.
Yeah,
But
this
like
is his last one.
within the universe, like when do they pick the new James
They
Bond?
don't. It's the same person.
According to the
It's
universe, it's
You
a
mean
same
no?
person.
Yeah, it's always the same person.
According
And
to
it's
the
a
universe.
stupid
It's-
theory that
Even the M, the Moneypenny, they're all the same people according to their universe.
no, the M's change.
The M's change. That's
The
true.
M's change.
But according to the
Many
universe,
pennies don't change.
there's been 2.
Yes, in this universe, yes. Because also Daniel Craig's a complete reboot.
Which
I've seen a lot of
idea that
people.
you're rebooting the franchise with the same actors.
Yeah.
is really confusing.
Well, the only same actor is Judi Dench.
and Daniel Craig.
No, he wasn't in it before. No, Pierce Brosnan was like the last one, and then he rebooted it with Casino Royale.
Okay, so this new one's not going to be a reboot. Is this new one the continuation of Spectre? Is that what we're? Because Spectre was like a cliffhanger.
We don't know. It seems like Danny Boyle came and was like, "Hey, here's an idea," and they said, "Okay, do that," instead of whatever we were planning. So I don't know if it'll pick up Spectre or just ignore it.
Ugh.
We'll come back to it later in a future movie when some other future young director like Noah one day builds out his career and comes down the world like, I'm a James Bond
Oh,
I used to
fan.
love Spectre.
Noah's going to bring back the Die Another Day shit. Like, yeah, I would love that.
I love Die Another Day.
Yeah.
So fucking.
Personally, because Pierce Brosnan is my Bond, so
Oh.
I would love to return to the more
No, I would never do that.
kitschy, campy. I don't know. That's why I like the.
You go Roger Moore before you go Pierce Brosnan.
Wow.
But see, this is
Good
why
for
I
you.
like the
I
secret.
stopped watching when Pierce
Kingsman.
Brosnan started.
Oh yeah.
I like Kingsman because it's what I remember Bond being.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
fun.
fun with more ninja shit. So
I mean, it's
yeah.
not, but
More
I
up
mean,
close
yeah.
fingering.
It's British spies who have everything on them is a gadget, and yeah,
It's
that's
Roger Moore.
Yeah, that's what I remember, and they're always getting laid.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Good times.
yeah.
Not what's his name.
No, not Mark Strong. Mark Strong never gets laid.
Oh, no, I meant well, the other guy never gets laid. Colin
Firth. Colin Firth doesn't get
Colin
laid.
Firth.
No, only Taron Egerton gets laid.
They lay me.
Yeah, so
Did you call him Taron Edgerton?
that's I believe his name.
Joel Edgerton, isn't it?
No.
No, that's Joel Edgerton. That's Joel Edgerton. That's a different person.
Oh, I thought it was the same
Also,
one.
Joel
in that
Edgerton
movie.
is an Australian. Taron Egerton is British, from Wales actually.
Oh.
And then he's Welsh.
They are both blockhead fellows, though.
How, yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
Taron Egerton is 10 years younger than Joel Edgerton, at least.
Yeah.
Joel Edgerton's in his 40s.
Like a man.
Joel
Taron
Edgerton's
Egerton's in his 20s.
Grown ass man.
I can't tell if Joel
I didn't know
Edgerton's a
that
good
Taron
actor.
Egerton was a thing, so
He's a kid from
Did you not see the Kingsman movies?
no. And when what I've seen of
You
them,
didn't see Eddie Eagle?
I thought that it was Joel Edgerton.
Oh, okay.
He's also going to be Robin Hood.
Yeah.
The new Robin Hood movie.
That I
Joel
don't know. I don't know how to
Taron.
think about the trailer.
It looks like the
so
Camelot one that we recently.
The-
The show
Yeah.
Camelot on Stars,
No,
starring
it
Ava
looks-
Green from
It
Casino
looks like
Royale.
Charlie Hunnam's
Stars.
King Arthur movie,
Yeah, King Arthur.
but with Robin Hood.
It looks like that, yeah.
Like they were like, "Oh, that movie was such a travesty. We lost so much money. Let's do it with Robin Hood." That seriously feels like the conversation they had.
Pretty
It was
much.
like, "Wow, everybody really hated that. Let's do it with Robin."
Yeah, but they didn't have Jamie Foxx in the King Arthur movie.
Serious.
Wait, is he in this too?
He's in the Robin
Man,
Hood
he's just
movie.
in everything.
Plays
this year.
Friar John.
Interesting. All right, so that was Noah's
Friar
story.
John. It's either Little John or Friar Tuck. Which one are you talking about?
Little Friar Scarlet. That's his name.
I was going for like a portmanteau of Friar Tuck and Prester John.
All right, so that was Noah's story. Ken, what's your story for the week?
Okay, so mine doesn't really have anything to do with any like movies or anything. It's video games, kind of.
Oh,
so we don't
yes.
really talk about that much.
No.
But and it's first of all, it's a game that neither of us play. It's League of Legends, or Dota 2 rather. It's Dota 2. But the thing is, these people built a team of AI bots that, for the first time ever, has finally beat a team of human players. Last year, they had created a single bot that beat a single player, and that was kind of easy. But in this one, it's interesting because they're all individual AI bots.
Working.
So, right. So they had to teach them. When they initially started, they were all working individually, just like the original did. You know, only out for themselves, not worrying about their other teammates. They had to put a protocol in there to care about their other teammates.
Holy shit, we're all gonna die.
Right, this is what I'm saying.
Like, god damn it.
I mean, there's gonna be some really sweet video games coming out before we do though.
Hell yeah.
How many times have you been playing like a Metal Gear Solid and all the AI is fucking idiots?
Not often.
Really?
Metal Gear Solid has very
No, not the originals.
No.
No, you would just like
Just walk around the box.
right walk around in a circle and you can walk right up behind them and then they're like boink what? Turn around and you are in a box. Okay.
Real quickly, there's a cool mechanic at first level of Metal Gear Solid 1 where you walk in snow and it leaves your footprints and the guards will follow it, and they never use it again. Just spend the rest of the game inside.
Yeah,
Interesting.
exactly.
It was just them being like, look what we could
There's not
do.
like a thing of like, you know, okay, like take some poop out of the toilet, step in it with your shoes, and then track poop prints or something, or like spill ketchup and track. I mean, not like another.
Okay, of all the things that you would use, poop is where you go.
That was my first thought.
Poop, then ketchup.
I thought of mud
What a
first.
strange list.
I thought of mud first, but mud is also outside. So then I was like, oh, well, what's inside that's like mud? Poop is like mud. So that's how my brain got there.
In the third Metal Gear Solid, you can poison guards, like, guardhouses, and then they're all sick later on when you
That's
have to
fun.
pass them.
Yeah, I played 3. I didn't play 4 though. I didn't play the one after that.
4 is like 30 minutes of gameplay and,
And
2
the
hours
rest.
of cutscenes.
That's exactly
and
what I read.
That's it
so
the entire time. But it's fun.
one of the reasons I didn't play it. And Hideo Kojima is just being let off the leash, and just they don't
so
mean
excited.
anything anymore. Like the story is long and involved, and just doesn't fucking mean anything
Mm-hmm.
anymore.
Well, you just try to wrap up all the loose ends. And the answer to everything was everyone has nanobots inside of them that answers any plot question.
Sure.
Yeah.
Midichlorians.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Metal Glorians.
Oh.
Metal!
Oh, no
So,
one's really
yeah.
excited about that.
Metal Gearians.
Okay. I mean, if you want to ruin it. Sure. Go ahead. So anyway, what I thought was cool was that each individual AI plays 180 years worth of games against itself every day.
Holy
So
shit.
they just have it on a loop. So there's kind of no way that team could have won if they were at all working together.
Yeah.
They had they didn't. I guess they didn't beat the top team, but it was still, this is still sort of unprecedented,
Yeah.
because you can build a team of AIs to do a thing like in a video game, but these are 5 individual AIs. This was all done on the OpenAI, which I believe, what's his name, SpaceX guy,
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk is CEO of. I'm not entirely certain.
How does he not have a cologne yet?
Because Musk was the original. Yeah.
Elon Musk by Elon Musk. You smell smart.
It'd be Musk by Elon.
Yeah. I like saying Musk twice. Like
Musk.
he doesn't get that Musk is Musk.
Musk
Like,
by Elon Musk.
Yeah.
So it's like a Tyler Perry movie. Tyler presents Tyler Perry in
Medea.
Tyler Perry's Medea,
Goes
a
to
Tyler
jail.
Perry movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Medea's Boo 2. But anyway, I thought this was interesting.
That is
because
scary and terrible
for
awful.
the future of video games, it's amazing.
No,
At
not
the
the
same time,
computer will be able to
Google's-
beat me.
At the same time, Google's making robots that can run upstairs and do all this other shit. I just saw a video the other day of stuntmen, audio animatronic stuntmen, that are actually going to be able to move. They're not connected to anything. So we're full on just talking about robots that can do
But they can only
stunts like a
perform
human.
basic moves.
No, this one could grab a rope, swing on it, and then do backflips off the rope. into
Yeah,
it.
but that's almost entirely inertia.
So it's but it's still though.
Sure,
I mean, it's,
anyone could do that.
No,
You grab the rope. Once you swing and let go, you just have to move your feet a little bit and you
You're
start flipping.
ostensibly
Yeah.
already
for the entire
flipping.
stuntman industry, though, it's like, all right, well, you guys just all lost your fucking jobs. It's unless we really, really want them to have realistic faces. But what's a realistic face anymore? I mean, I just saw Michael Douglas and Michelle Pfeiffer be 38 in a movie.
Well, speaking
So
of all, like the AI and OpenAI and whatnot, that one guy took that one program, I forget what it's called, but it's the one they're making all the porn with, Deep something or whatever. Where
Deepfakes.
Is that what it's called?
Deepfakes, where they put people's faces
Well,
on it.
yeah, that's what the
But yeah, the
that's
program.
what the porns are called.
Mhm.
The porns.
Ooh.
That's a terrible way to say
Porn. I
that.
think it's pornos.
wait, are we talking about
Porn.
porns where they actually can insert people's faces?
Well,
on
okay,
other people's
so
bodies?
Yes.
yes.
It's very morally questionable.
What they do is they take these thousands of pictures off the internet, and the deep AI or whatever it is which is a free AI.
Wasn't it a
It's
Google?
yeah. It then, scans all of them, and then you essentially tell it where that face is supposed to be on what body or whatever, and that face essentially follows that. It is that person when they talk. It's that person.
It's like on Snapchat.
I don't know that because I don't know Snapchat, and I'm not going to attempt it. But I think we're talking about the
Feels
little
like
dog
Running
faces.
Man, though.
Yeah.
Like,
You can switch faces and stuff.
But so what this guy did was he took the Henry Cavill mustache problem and fixed it using this Google AI, this free Google AI.
$3 million did it cost him?
Exactly. And a couple thousand pictures of Henry Cavill, Cavill, or whatever it is, from the internet, which, who doesn't have 100,000 pictures of Henry Cavill on their hard drive?
Shirtless, just gardening.
You don't need him to be shirtless, but it helps.
I'm always trying to find a good gif of his meaty thighs walking down the courthouse too.
Well, you don't have that one already? I'll send it to you.
Oh, hey, hook me up.
But,
For real though, hook me up.
No,
So wait, are there a bunch of porns now? Henry Cavill just pounding dudes?
No, this
The
was
thing
his
is-
example.
This was the legit example of what this can do. This is saying, hey, look how shitty all those millions of dollars, cutting that mustache off. They paid somebody to do that, and here I just spent probably too many hours looking on the internet, for pictures of Henry Cavill, which time spent, I guess, and then plugged it into a free AI program, and it did a much better job.
Huh.
Like he essentially fixed that particular problem in that movie.
Yeah.
But he didn't fix the movie. I mean, I can't do that.
He didn't fix the part where Holt
Only the
McCallany
Snyder
drops
Cut
tons
can
and
do
tons
that.
of...
Release it.
Release the
Snyder Cut.
That
Or
totally
kill
exists.
He didn't fix all of Holt McCallany scenes where he just drops tons of exposition for no reason?
No.
Yeah.
Is she acting?
No.
No? Alright.
Who? No. Wait, which scene?
The Batman scene at the beginning of the movie. The thief.
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
The thief is terrible. And basically, like, all of his lines should end with the phrase,
Superman
in
died.
case
You
you
killed
didn't
him,
see
right?
Batman vs. Superman.
No, you had moms with the same name.
Yeah.
Ah!
Exactly.
Gosh.
Exactly.
Aliens. Ah!
Like, look, I found one. Oh, look, when it dies, it leaves clues.
Just like a real criminal.
Why weren't they just killing tons of those, looking for more clues? What does this one do when it explodes? What does this one do when it explodes?
I think they all make the same clue.
Oh,
Yeah, they
shit.
only.
That's boring.
Although that is boring. In a video game, they would each make different ones, and you would have to put it together.
Yeah.
Video games are allowed
No.
to be longer and take more time with their exposition than.
Do you think the
In a
lead
video
villain knew
game, there'd be
that?
100 of them hidden, and you have to
You
kill
think
them and get
what's
the
his
clue.
name?
In MMO, you'd have to go out and
Wasn't it
kill the
Steppenwolf?
constantly respawning ones,
Yeah.
and only 1 in 200 would drop a clue.
Do you think Steppenwolf knew that when you kill one of his minions, like, it had, like, his grand plan, like, spraying walls and stuff?
He
had some-
created it. He has
Honestly, he probably just gets angry and kills them.
Like, I'd be really
Yeah,
pissed if it's like,
probably.
wait, so whenever anybody kills you, you, like, release my master plan? Could you not? That really fucks with my shit, bro. Like, don't do that. So,
Maybe it was like when he was like making them the vat. It was either they're very ineffective and they die without leaving clues, or they're kind of a lot better, but they'll die leaving clues.
serious. Plus, we can save $7 on shipping if
Exactly.
they die.
If you allow them to leave clues, you'll get $1 in Amazon credit.
Yeah.
I think,
Well,
okay.
it's the mother boxes. I mean, it's not what creates them.
Yeah, he created them with the presumably.
And so that's probably why they just have that in.
Everything that
just
was
from
created with the mother box dies and leaves clues of the
Listen.
mother box.
Step, baby.
It's like if you killed me, there like pictures of my mom and dad would spray on a wall.
Is that your
It's
clue?
kind of religious.
No, but that's
They have
my
a
mother
religious
box.
sort of thing about it too. So
Yeah.
My mother box
It's like religious
is my
symbols.
mom and my
Your
dad.
dad.
And like all religious symbols, they are bullshit.
And they explode out of you and die.
die.
Yeah.
That's-
When we kill Ben, a cross will be left
Yeah.
on the wall.
And a picture of mom and dad. So, yeah.
Picture mom, dad, across. It's all good.
Yeah.
Think about it. What if Steppenwolf got amnesia and he can remember his plan?
That's why
What is
coded
my
that
plan?
into
What is
the
my plan?
DNA of all
Bird,
the...
I'm so angry. What's my
That's true.
plan?
I'm just gonna kill this guy until I know what my plan is. Oh, look, there's my plan!
Oh, my plan is 3 squares?
Yeah.
Interesting. Anyway, that is a scary fucking story.
Yeah, I think it's exciting and then scary.
Yeah.
You know, I think it'll be a long time till it becomes scary, but... I mean,
See, I
speaking
think
of Elon Musk, who is CEO, one of the CEOs, I believe, of OpenAI, and if it's not OpenAI, it's another AI corporation, he still believes that AI is going to be the end of us.
Yeah.
So
I love that. Like he's like, oh, yeah, totally will be. Are you going to stop? No.
well, no, his thing is it's not going to stop. So we might as well try to make it responsibly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's sort
Makes
of
sense.
like a villain in any Marvel
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
The thing that I'm worried about though is that it does seem like
And
all the
Stark.
pieces are there.
And Tony Stark.
Like all the pieces of the Matrix pie exist now, and we're just waiting for somebody to put them all together.
Not the harvesting humans.
I don't
for
think
energy.
that that's necessarily
That
true.
comes later.
Well, for one, harvesting humans for energy is highly inefficient and
Yeah.
stupid.
Just throw them on a treadmill.
A fucking sun exists right off the planet. Like just
No, they got rid of the sun.
They
Remember,
blocked the sun out, and the robots.
it
can't-
was we who blotted out the sun, and it was the humans who were.
They deleted
No,
the
no, no,
sun.
no, 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 no,
Blocked
no,
it
no,
out.
no, 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 no.
They did some weather thing, and they turned.
Right, what I'm
Everyone-
saying is right off the
everyone-
planet. They're fucking a sun.
Motherfuckers.
I'm sorry, I didn't follow the second and third ones. So
So I am very versed in the Matrix.
Okay.
Here's what happened.
when
When
was the shitty movies with you? Go on.
it's funny because I actually only own the second two on Blu-ray. I don't have a copy of the first one.
I didn't like any of them. Let's be 100% clear here. I didn't like any of them.
Really?
But if any of them were watchable, it was the first one.
Oh, I am enamored.
I loved the first one.
Everybody did.
I was
Oh, there's a
intrigued by
shocker.
the second and third. So, and I've watched them since. They make more sense. The better our technology as a world gets, the more sense those movies make.
Except for that
scary.
one bitty part about humans make terrible batteries.
Yeah.
Literally go to any other planet and dig up almost any other element and you can make a better battery out of it.
Yeah.
Literally dig in the core and you find a better battery.
Yeah. But, well, they wanted to use them as processors, and the studio was like,
What?
you need they were going to use a human brain as processing.
Well, see, that makes actually way more sense.
And the studio said, you need to simplify that.
Nope, that makes actually way more sense because we still can't emulate the processing power of a human brain yet.
Yeah.
We can't emulate the processing power of a mouse or roach brain yet.
Yeah. This studio interference, we need to make a petition. We're going to start making the film.
Release the
studio.
Wachowskis cut
We're going to remake Last Jedi!
Yeah, and we'll remake this movie.
with no women
Okay, so here's
Or
the thing.
blacks.
or blacks or Asians.
Here's the thing with the Matrix.
I hate that my dad hates the black guy from the movie. It's not because he's black. It's
Black
because,
Stormtrooper?
So his reasoning for it is the guy doesn't know how to do anything. Everybody in that world has like very specific set of skills and knows that he was a stormtrooper, and so he shoots a blaster somewhat well. That's his only skill in that whole.
He's actually very skilled in all weapons, which is why he's able to take on,
Okay,
like,
so
pick up the.
Like,
Captain Phasma.
none of that's in the movie though.
Yeah, he picks up a lightsaber and.
That's a sword. He just
then he
picks up a
fights
sword and
against
swings it
stormtroopers.
and loses.
That's what I'm saying.
Well.
And what you guys named TR8R or whatever.
Traitor.
Yeah, that's not. It's
It's dumb.
That was cool.
not. It's
dumb.
stupid.
No, but like
It doesn't even make sense. He was calling Finn the traitor,
Yeah.
but his name isn't traitor. You guys are idiots.
Traitor.
But
Maybe he
anyway,
yells out his name when he's about to fight me.
Traitor!
T-R-E-Y-T-O-R-R. He's like Ferritor from
okay.
Mortal Kombat.
no,
No, but
you're making it sound like
That's a Star Wars name. Traitor.
Well, that's or fucking Eternia, like Molar, the dentist of Eternia, or whatever. Traitors or
Awesome.
whatever.
Molar the dentist of eternity.
I think that's canon.
Okay,
That's awesome.
so the Matrix.
Yes.
All right.
So they use robots as slaves. Robots rebel because they were like beating a robot one day.
Wait,
and
they were
just-
robots and not aliens?
They started as robots.
Oh, I thought they were aliens.
No,
The Matrix?
They're the
Yeah.
computers.
Robots.
I thought it was aliens that put the robots there.
No.
no.
Yes, humans made the
We gave
robots.
birth to AI.
Yeah.
Okay.
Use them
Saw
as
Lawrence Fishburne's speech in the very first movie.
use them as slave labor.
I've seen it once. I don't know.
And then the robots were like, this is fucked up, and one like snapped and killed like the family because they were all the robots were being abused. And the humans were like, yeah, you can't fucking do that. And the robots were like,
And Will Smith showed up and he says, "I did not kill him."
Yeah,
and he
pretty
hit
much.
the
No, and then the robots are like, we're humans too, and they're like, no, you're not, so they revolt. Then the robots leave. They make their robot city, Zion. No, not Zion. Zion's a human city. They
Wait,
make
Zion's the sweet place with all the dirty people.
yes, they make the robot city, which has a dumb name. It's something.
Because Zion is so good.
Yeah.
0111000.
It's something that's yeah.
It's Detroit.
They make the robot city, and they come to the UN, and the robots are like, "Hey, we want to like join the UN," and they're like, "Fuck you!" And they kill the diplomats they sent to the UN, and so then the war starts.
See, but that's stupid because we wouldn't do that. We would realize already, okay, we're clearly in over our heads. Let's pretend we're equals. At the very least, we'll
Unless
get a
Trump
few
was
more
in charge.
years of it.
Yeah, well, Trump's in charge.
Trump's not in charge of the UN, though.
Yeah.
You know that in the Matrix universe.
In the future universe, yeah, it's like...
So are we positing that the Idiocracy, the Matrix, the Purge universe are all ostensibly one universe in which Trump takes over?
Yes.
Pretty much.
Okay.
And we're just seeing different parts of it as they happen.
Yeah.
So then they're fighting the war, and the humans are losing war, because, of course, humans are losing, because all of the Matrix is how the humans are dumb and the computers are right. Like, the whole speech he gives about the stake in Matrix 1 is just correct.
Yeah.
Because the humans fucking suck. So they're going to the war, and the humans are like, we're losing this. We're going to block out the sun because they're solar powered. They block out the sun to take their energy, and then the robots go, well, fuck you. Now you're our energy. And as the ultimate form of human kindness, or as the ultimate kindness, while we make you our energy, we're going to put you in paradise. Like, the first Matrix was a paradise.
And I know that one didn't work because everybody rejects paradise. We need conflict.
It's too perfect. And so then they realize the perfect place to keep people is in a generic late 90s Australian city.
Oof. It's all stupid.
So that we all live in Muriel's wedding.
It's all fucking idiotic.
It's brilliant.
It's great.
Bring me Morpheus.
Since you mentioned it, have you seen the first Purge? It's really good.
I've never seen the first Purge. I've never seen any Purge.
Do you mean the...
This is the first Purge.
No, yeah, he means...
The
new
newest one.
movie is
He means
called
the movie,
The First Purge.
It's called The First Purge.
No.
Or he
So
means he
I
hasn't
haven't seen the
first...
first Purge.
Okay.
Okay.
The movie,
You
The
haven't
First
seen-
Purge,
I
or
know
you
there's
haven't
like
seen
two
the
of them
first
now.
Purge
I didn't
movie?
see the first
No,
one, so I haven't
This
seen
is
any.
the third or the fourth?
This is the fourth
This is
one.
the fourth one. It's called The First Purge. Are you saying you haven't seen the movie The First Purge or the First Purge movie?
Words you are saying are not making sense.
So
I
what's
have
on
not
second?
seen the
What's
first
on
movie,
first?
which is called The Purge.
Yes, but and you also haven't seen The First Purge.
I
which
just
is the
said
name
I
of
haven't
which is
seen
the
the first
fourth
Purge.
No, but it's the
Noah.
name. It's the fourth Purge.
Noah. I literally just said I haven't seen the first
Did you
Purge.
see the fourth Purge, the first Purge?
The Porgs?
The fourth Purge. The
fourth
first
The
Purge.
fourth Purge, the first Purge?
Let's just say I haven't seen any Purges.
Okay.
Not even the first.
I've seen all but the second one, which I heard was really good.
Yes,
What's the second one called? The fourth Purge?
I don't
The
remember.
second one has crossbones in it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Third one has.
We say crossbows, but
Third
then
one's
with
better.
bones.
The second
First
one
one's
was the one about the Purge ending, right?
No, that's the third one.
That's the third one.
That's the
Third
last
one was bad.
Purge.
That also had crossbones.
Okay, right, yeah.
That one was bad.
Frank Grillo, by the way. is his name.
Which
No, it's
one
not.
was the one
Third one?
His
where...
name's Crossbones. No, he's
Oh.
Which one was... I saw some trailers. Which one was the one where they get one night a year to kill people?
That's all.
That's all.
that's the Purge.
That's the concept
The
of
first
the-
Purge?
all-
The first
all the
one was
Purge.
called The Purge, so you're saying that that's the first one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then they
the
stopped doing
fourth
that
one
all
is
the
called the first Purge.
It's really good.
And they
Just
stopped
really
purging
confused.
in the
No.
new one.
No, the first one is
It's a very-
it's a prequel where they start purging.
Yeah.
And this one is
It's
Donald
like
Trump
that.
because the hat.
It.
Is there a MAGA hat in the movie?
No.
Yeah.
Not in the movie. It's just for the advertisement.
I can buy a MAGA First Purge hat right here, but my problem with it is
that
that
you
people
have
would
a hat?
just
It's a
be...
movie.
Well, it's not... It doesn't say MAGA. It looks like a MAGA hat, but it says The First Purge or whatever.
It's not an actual movie though.
But I thought it was in the trailer.
No.
I thought I saw it in the trailer.
No, it's just used in the promotion.
Makes
I
sense
think.
though. It sounds like something.
I mean, because the idea is it's its own. It's always had its own. It's a separate party that started this whole thing. The NFA, the New Fathers of America, or the New Founders.
The New Founding Fathers.
Yeah, New Founding Fathers of America or something.
Yeah.
And
Which isn't an ominous name or a political party.
yeah, they're white
Sure.
supremacists,
Yeah.
and they get in charge. And yeah, this is
The
this
whole
is
point of
them.
purge is to
They
get
haven't
rid of
played
the
Bioshock, they
non-white
don't know.
people.
Yeah, then this is them doing the first test at Staten Island.
Yeah.
And they basically, they send in their own mercenaries because they're not doing enough killing on the actual people living there weren't killing each other enough. So they sent in a bunch of like white supremacist mercenaries.
Oh, you can get that at my theater?
Well, yeah, you can get... Well, the problem is it looks like a
Well,
MAGA hat, and so
Yeah,
just
I
like
don't-
all those No-Obama stickers looked like Obama stickers until you got really up close, so everybody thinks you're supporting the thing that it looks like.
Yeah, I don't want it. I don't
Until
want
you-
the red hat because
That's
I'm just
what
gonna
I'm
be like
saying.
a red hat at a distance.
You should just get a red hat that says "I like red hats."
It's, but then everybody's
It should
going
be
to
blue.
think you're supporting MAGA.
Here's the thing. Trump's ruined red hats. We need to make red hats great again.
Serious.
If-
Like,
M-
all I want to do is wear red hats
RHTA.
and have a tiny little mustache,
Just
and
a
I
red,
can't.
a red hat. that says make red hats.
Merhagas. We need to make
And I like wearing
Merhaga
armbands with lightning bolts on them, and I can't.
I love the flag.
Merhaga hats.
That was that part in
SS,
Arrested
the
Development when he's
Sue
like,
Storm
"Look, I
armband."
got a Sue Storm armband." It's just the two SS. I was under those. That killed me. That show, like, I don't laugh a lot, and then when I do, I just
At Arrested
bust my
Development?
gut. It's a lot of like and then
I don't laugh a lot.
gut busting laughter when it's funny. When it's really funny, it's fucking amazingly funny. It's amusing, and then like most sitcoms, I don't actually laugh. I just kind of like oh, this is nice. I like this.
You're dead inside. We get it. So,
I left 2
Velma?
in the movie theaters.
You me?
Velma's story.
Story time.
you want to tell
Should we talk about Scarlett Johansson? You heard
Sure.
about this?
just in general?
She's
I
doing
thought
a
you-
movie called Rub and Tug,
Oh, I did hear something about that.
where she's playing a trans man.
And people are pissed.
Yeah, do you know what he looks like?
No.
Scarlett Johansson.
Holy shit. She's playing that person?
Yeah,
That's
guy.
like that's
And they couldn't get the guy who played Hagrid?
it's Dante Gill.
no, but
They could get
the
the-
woman from
the-
Orange is
the-
the New
I was
Black.
gonna say the
What?
Oh, she would have been perfect.
Yeah,
I should really get a guy since it's
What
a
is her
guy.
name? Boo? Is
Her
her
name's
name
Boo in the
Yeah,
show, yeah.
Boo.
So she's a
But when
lesbian
she
woman
does
who dresses fairly
drag.
Yeah.
She looks exactly like that.
Yeah. Well, and she's often dressed in a mannish. I don't know. She's mostly dressed like a lot of the time. You could say she's dressed in drag because she dresses.
Well, I
in a
mean,
very
when
mannish way.
I'm just saying when she goes full out and does the suit and tails and all that.
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. No. I think it'd be perfect. I think the thing that the community is mad about though is it's not a trans actor. Is what I've been hearing.
Yeah, I mean that's the biggest thing. But I mean, even they would like it'd be better if it was at least a guy. I think that's the big thing that they're like. At least if it was a cis guy, we wouldn't be as.
I mean,
And it's Scarlett Johansson who looks nothing like them.
well, I think the biggest problem, I feel like the biggest problem is that Scarlett Johansson looks nothing like that. But I think that it's a fine line, always, to say that it needs to be a trans person because for years we've been fighting that we can play, quote unquote,
That
straight
Neil Patrick
roles.
Harris can play
Right.
role. And,
Yeah, but trans
And
people
so-
can get jobs anywhere else.
Sure.
It's like if you're only
But at the
trash
same
for
time,
trans roles.
do you want people to? If you want people to
That's
see the
fair.
movie, you need a celebrity.
But no one's gonna see this.
I think a lot more.
It's
people
the
are gonna
same
see
director
it.
that did Ghost in the Shell with Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, which also got a lot of
Which
shit.
nobody,
Well, because
Nobody's-
No.
wait, you
People-
cast an Asian actor, and they're like, nope.
No, people
yeah.
they were hyped on Scarlett Johansson because she's in the Marvel movies. They went and saw Lucy and went, no, we're not doing that again. We made a mistake.
right.
We're not going to see Scarlett Johansson movies.
Okay, to be fair, Lucy, she's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that was the big thing. People just went because it was Scarlett Johansson, and then after that, they kind of
I
went,
think
oh,
people got to thinking that Scarlett Johansson's a movie star,
yeah.
and she is not.
Which
a
is
movie
what I'm
star.
saying is, it's,
Yeah. So, I mean, at the same time, you're right. If
and
you,
it's
if you
also her
want-
response was terrible. I mean,
Yeah, her response was like, "Well, go fuck yourself."
yeah. It's like, look at these people; they won awards. So
She did. Oh well, she points out that Jeffrey Tambor wins awards for doing Transparent. The Danish girl?
Yeah.
he almost won an award for that. Or he
He
did
did.
win. He did win. He
did.
won some awards.
He did.
Did he win the Oscar for it?
Oh no, wait, no.
Redmayne didn't.
Did
win
he?
the Oscar?
I'm sorry. I got
Oh, he
angry
did.
because I remembered him winning.
I
No,
think Redmayne.
he won for wheelchair.
yeah.
Oh, he won for the wheelchair one.
Stephen Hawking.
Alicia Vikander won an Oscar for that one.
Yeah,
Um,
that's right. I got angry because I remembered him winning for the wheelchair
I remember
over
winning
Michael
for something.
Keaton,
Yeah.
but I don't think he won for Amish.
But I mean, it's also because it's her production. Like people are mad 'cause, like you have control over this. You're choosing to cast yourself in this role. It's your production. It's you've already done this before, and people were mad. And you're also pointing out, saying, "Well, I can win
It
an
just
award."
seems like a
So
surefire way to get it
I mean, at the same time, though, if it's her production company, that means that she liked the story enough to go out and buy the rights to.
they are also saying
Right,
that
but
it's not a trans person in the story. They're
It's-
saying they're a lesbian woman.
Oh.
In a lot of the descriptions.
See, that sucks because that's kind of what they did with Rise.
Yeah.
Where Rise was a story about a gay teacher, and they were like, "Well, what if he was a straight guy with a family?" And
It's the same, right?
and the show ended up getting canceled partially because it was the preachiest show I have ever seen in my fucking life.
Yeah.
it was-
like their seasons of Glee bad.
Well, it became.
Did that
Like-
get preachy in the
It was
last?
like
I
E
didn't-
plus.
it got bad.
It was
in
like-
the middle.
like
so I stopped
every
watching
single
it.
plot point
I mean,
needed
Glee,
to be a like an
Emotional.
SJW like launching pad. Nobody could just be like, "Oh look, and here's a white kid."
Wait.
Nope, you get the fuck out.
Wait, but
It was-
the
I mean,
reason
it was-
all their last man standings get canceled is because we need our show.
It eventually got to the point where it felt like every single thing in the show was an issue. Every little thing that happened was a victory and an issue.
They were probably
and it just-
making
and
that
it's like
because
This Is
they had
Us, but it
changed
gets
it so
emotionally
much
drained. and
I
you
haven't
get to the
seen
point.
This Is
Okay,
Us. It
so
doesn't
This
look
Is Us
interesting at all.
is a wonderful show, but is so emotionally powerful and makes you cry every single episode that eventually you're like, I'm not in the mood for that. Like, unless you are in the mood to sit and have a crying fit about racial injustice and gender inequality and all of the terrible shit in the world, unless you're in the mood for that, you don't watch anymore. And so what's happening is that people are stopping to watch the show because it's just an emotionally draining. Like,
Isn't that... Don't people describe, what's that one that everyone loves? The family one. This Is Us?
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
I'm about something else.
This Is Us is... Well,
He
and
said
I
it's
don't know
like
Rise.
This Is Us.
And
Yeah,
Rise...
I also...
So, and this is the same thing I had with Rise. I watched the first 6 episodes because I was wanting something like Glee, and I'm even cool with the later episodes of Glee. And initially I liked it, but it got emotionally draining. I'm just like, there's no... And plus, there was never... It felt like a win. You never felt good. It was always just more... So, yeah, it's... And I hate when they fuck with the... Initially, I wasn't going to watch Rise at all because of the thing where they replaced the guy who was a gay teacher, and they had Josh Radnor playing him as straight, and I was like, well, that's fucked up. But then it came out, and I heard a lot of people saying good things, and I was like, all right, let's go. And it was on Hulu. I was like, all right, I'll go check it out. And I started liking it, and then, God, it just got so emotionally heavy, I just had to stop. So, yeah, it's fucked up. In terms of something like that, I can see... I don't know. I can see the good points of having a famous person be in charge of it because
But it's all the negative things that were stereotyped. It's like, you're a woman, not a man.
If you had... Well, here's the thought.
And the story is going to be that. The story is going to be this is a woman.
If it were me, the way I would do it is, one, I would still play it as a trans person, and then two, I would then, if I'm not going to cast a trans actor in that role, I would cast a trans actor in another role, and not even...
Yeah, that'd be
I would do like Barney on How I Met Your Mother, and it's like...
Well, see, okay, the only problem I have with that is that literally that feels like it's filling the diversity requirement that everybody keeps blaming us for having, which we don't really have that as an agenda. What we have is we want to see ourselves represented. So, and we want, trans people and gay people and lesbians to get the jobs that they deserve. So this doing that is sort of like buying carbon points or whatever that shit is.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that feels like buying when you buy footprints or carbon footprints points or whatever.
Yeah.
I can see, I can see needing, a trans man to play the character because, there's nobody else hiring them for that specific purpose. At least hire them for the thing that you are shooting. I can't see hiring a straight man, a cisgender man, in that role, to make it seem more like
a man.
Just to say because he was a man, we're going to get this cisgender man. Then that's just giving another job to a cisgender man.
I mean,
in terms of people representing, though, the most important thing would be to, as you were mentioning, portray the story as it was in real life.
Yeah, it's a story. It's about life. It probably should represent their life.
Like, it's,
right.
It would be cool to actually have a trans man playing a trans man, but more than anything, if it's a story about a trans man, leave it as a story about a trans man, and don't change it to just to a lesbian woman, almost like lowering it on the scale of like, well, we feel people would find this more acceptable, and it's like, well, that's bullshit. That's the thing that is.
Yeah, if you aren't willing to tell the
if
story,
it's a true story, yeah, you're not fucking around with fictional shit and like, oh well, the character, it's my, Dumbledore isn't gay anymore, whatever, and we can just change it. That's a fictional character. You can do whatever you want. If this is based on real life, part of the strength of that person's story is that they are a trans man. That's part of why the story was interesting enough for you to buy it as a production company and want to make a movie out of it. Why would you change that part of it?
And just the whole thing sounds like, I don't know, an Oscar.
Yeah, she said, that's basically what she said, yeah. And
that's garbage.
So, it seems like that's all it is just points to get the word something to watch.
And I don't think...
It's like playing a mentally challenged person, 20 years ago.
Thing, yeah. They still, people get because what was that movie recently? There was a kid, Wonder something. Because was it the actual? Was the actual one? But basically, it's just a lot of people who are disabled, like they're like, it's just one of those movies that it's not about the disabled person. It's about making the people who aren't disabled like inspired and go like, oh, even I can pity them. And it's a lot less like it's not really about them in any way. And that's, I think, same problem here. You drink a water.
Yeah. Huh. That's fucked up. I had heard that she was changing it. That definitely does.
Yeah, I mean,
I think changing the story is now a much more damning thing than.
Well,
just
because the thing is, it was, I don't remember the year that he's from, but they weren't like couldn't openly talk about basically being trans. But there is reference to like in the obituary saying like wanting to be called Mr. Gill and things like that, and particularly being about that. So it's more in the time she was considered a lesbian. But she was particular about being called Mr. Her friend, all his friends wanted. It was the way they wanted to present. They didn't say it at the time that trans, and I don't think it was. Yeah,
I have a couple. I have a couple friends that were lesbians and are now, as trans becomes more acceptable, or
Dante Gill,
like owning that part of themselves.
He's a mob boss of some kind. So he started like a massage parlor where you can get happy endings. And also was running a mob business or some part of the mob.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's
a pretty cool
really
story, right?
Cool.
It's an interesting story.
I've heard the massage place by the mountain Mike's up there. I'll get a happy ending.
Really?
I've also heard that it's housed purely with trafficked people.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
If you're looking for stuff like that, there are websites you can go to.
There are people who are consenting.
And there's a bunch of them here in town.
Were they gonna make her like a rub and tug thing in Birth of the Dragon? The trafficked girl that they had worked on? Okay.
Yeah. So that's
fun stuff.
That's that WWE movie we saw about Bruce Lee. So
we have a poster of that hanging in the break room, and I really want to take it down and steal it.
Nice.
I might.
Nice.
Okay.
All right. Okay, my story for this week, and I hate that I'm doing Disneyland again, but I'm doing Disneyland again.
You don't hate it, you know it.
Well, because here's the thing, Disneyland. So last week I talked about how
I wish somebody would call me again.
Update on Disneyland. It's still there. Next week, more about Disneyland.
They're planning a Marvel Land, and I mentioned they were going to tear down Bugs Land, where it's a bunch of kiddie rides and stuff like that, and that's
fuck kids. Star Wars.
That's going to be the Marvel Land. So when they put in Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, they had an Avengers hatch like in the lawn next to the ride, and that was an Easter egg for
Lost.
For that too.
Hell yeah.
But it was an Easter egg to let people
you
know.
Also go through a puff of smoke, which is also from Lost.
Whoa.
There's
a plan to build an Avengers Land there. So Disney put it out officially now. We know when it's coming, and we know that it's not just going to be one park. There's going to be one here in California, one in Paris, and one in Hong Kong. And each land is going to have different themes. The American version is going to have a Spider-Man attraction as well as a Marvel area, but a Spider-Man specific ride.
Fuck yeah.
The Paris one is going to have an Iron Man attraction. So when it was announced, there was 3 different posters that came out, and each poster had a different.
Love the man in the suit.
Long down.
So each poster had a different Marvel character featured on it.
Who's Hong Kong?
Paris poster. Hong Kong gets Ant-Man and the Wasp.
So when they Captain America.
Captain America is featured in their poster.
I think of all the ones that feel like I would want the experience would be Ant-Man and the Wasp because it's
you know what that would look like? A Bug's Land.
But
just a bunch of big
Noah
stuff.
mentioned earlier, nobody's throwing knives at you in a Bug's Land.
Right. And where's the pity? So and the churros are regular size.
And also they're like ants or some shit.
They have a giant Paul Rudd mech suit that you can wear to go Giant Man.
That would be cool. But no. Well, no. Here's the thing.
But it's also not in the suit. It's just Paul Rudd.
When I heard there was going to be a Spider-Man, some kind of an attraction,
that.
and then I saw the robotic stuntmen.
I'm sure there's VR porn of that.
Because the robotic stuntmen are being built by Disney, and I'm like, and they showed them robotic stuntmen.
Erotic stuntman?
No, robotic stuntmen. Okay. And the thing that they showed them doing was swinging on ropes, and I'm like, oh, holy fuck! There's going to be some kind of like Spider-Man stunt show, and half the Spider-Men you see are going to be fucking robots, like swinging, like there'll be some
Spider-Man's on these ropes.
Where Spider-Man's going to be like, I'll save you, and he runs off stage, and then a Spider-Man robot will swing through the stage.
I will save you. I am coming for you. I am totally the same Spider-Man who just ran behind the stage. Do
and
not
do
worry
flips
about it.
And then leap off and shit. They'll
and then also behind the stage, I'm back. Just like I was earlier when I said I was me.
Well, in the
Don't
same
worry
way-
about it, audience.
So, like, they've had an Aladdin stunt show, or an Aladdin stage show for years, and they have, like, 4 Aladdins in
Where he
it.
sings about needing bread
Because,
and runs from...
Yeah, no, he does the,
From
gotta
the
keep-
fucking hitman?
Yes, so when he's doing that song and runs around, there's at least 3 different Aladdins they have to use. Only one of them is singing, the rest of them are all running around. And you have to have them because there's a lot of parts of it where Aladdin gets stuck on a part of the set and you need him to...
And now it'll be a robot. 1 jump ahead of the hitman, 1 hit ahead of the flock. Think I will take a stroll around the block.
That's exactly what it'll be like. So, but no, I thought that was really cool, and the idea that there's going to be 3 parks, and it's opening a lot sooner than I thought. We're getting Star Wars Land next year. 1 year later, we're getting Marvel Land. Wow. So within 1 year, the park in California is going to have 2 new major expansions.
I'm so glad we're going before anything good shows up.
Yeah.
No, there's a bunch of good stuff already there. And
A
it sounds
Bug's
like-
Land, which you just literally shat all over.
Yeah, we're not going to do a lot of Bugs Land. It sounds like we talked about that. I think the plan is to take the kids there in Bugs Land, and if Josh wants to go,
Drop
he can.
them off.
But that
Hey, kids, have fun at Bugs Land. We're gonna go do fun shit.
the rest, I think anyone who wants to go
Like
do
the
grown-up
teacups.
stuff can go do like Radiator Springs or one of the other rides that's a lot more fun. So
Why would you put the term Radiator Springs, which I assume is from the Cars movie, in the same sentence as grown-up things?
because that ride is fucking
Is it
amazing.
because Mater and he's all about sex?
No, it's because you ride
Just-
in
you
a ride in a
fucking
car really, really
angel.
fast.
Mater is all about sex.
Is Mater all about sex?
Yeah.
His name is Mater. Mating.
What do you mean?
He mates with other cars.
It's a tomato pun.
Yeah,
Tomater.
Oh, he's supposed to be a tomato? I thought he was supposed to be a truck.
No,
tow truck. His name's
Tomater.
Tomater though.
Sounds like tomato.
That's not how puns work.
Sounds like tomato. It's fun.
That's not how words
He's a
work.
red tow truck. He's a Tomater.
Is it? Because he looks brown in all the
Looks
pictures.
brown.
Because it's faded.
Oh, you rusted.
It was part of the story.
My
God.
Ka-chow!
Sorry, I didn't see the first Cars or whatever.
Did you
the
not
fuck
see
it's
the
called.
first Cars?
No, I haven't, obviously.
What?
But I
It's
also
so
haven't
good.
seen what is probably
Did
the
you see the fourth Cars? Just called the first Cars?
This was the joke I was making. Thank you for not getting it and then trying to take it.
Sorry, I just took it. Yeah, so, my bad.
Did Rascal Flatts do a cover of Route 66 for The Urge? No, I don't fucking think so.
Are you saying he did for something else that makes
Cars.
sense?
Cars 1! He did Route 66, Rascal Flatts.
Why are you calling Rascal Flatts a he?
It's a god.
Because it's a dude.
Yeah, his name's Rascal and his last name is
It's
Flatts.
a dude. He looks like the dude from Smash Mouth and the chef, but he's from Rascal Flatts.
The chef, and I assume you mean Guy
Guy
Fieri.
Fieri.
Yeah, Guy Fieri. Guy Fieri.
All right.
Are we gonna do the fan
Um,
cast? We don't
So
want-
that's my that was my story for this week.
Fancast?
So yeah, we're also gonna do the fan
I
cast.
thought this was the Fancast.
This is the podcast.
We've been fan
What?
casting for Cars.
Oh, so speaking of, if anybody's listening to this and is interested in what is the Fancast, why do they keep talking about that? If you sign up on Patreon, if you join the Force, you can listen to the
This
Fancast
last
too.
3 hours is not enough of us for you.
No, yeah, we also do another Fancast where we will be deciding, we're going to give our picks on who should play Tim Drake when he comes to the DCEU in whatever form he comes in.
Yeah.
And then, so yeah, if you listen to that Fancast, you will be able to hear our picks, and then you can
Wait,
vote on
hasn't
it
he already been
on
cast?
Patreon. No. There's a version of him, or no, we don't know if it's Tim Drake or not. In
On the Titans show, it's
Titans.
Dick Grayson.
it's Grayson.
Oh.
There you go.
Starfire. They're gonna get Roman.
They're also doing Jason Todd on there.
What? Are they?
Mhm.
I don't remember hearing that.
So yeah, so if you want to listen to that Fancast, you can go over to our Patreon. There's a link right there in our description of this
Whoa,
episode.
right there?
Right there. And you can jump over to our Patreon and sign up. Just $1, you can
You
get
can
right
go
into
here,
the.
here, and here.
For just $1, you can kind of join the show and talk with us through the Geek
Yeah.
Warriors fan group page. No, that's what it is. They're getting
Join
to
the
interact
show.
with us.
Interact with us. This is
Interact
joining
with
the
us.
show.
No, joining the show is extra. We actually do have an option on there for, I think it's, I changed it a little bit.
Wait, we do?
Yeah,
We do have
we have an
an
option where I think it's $20 a month. If you sign up for the $20 a month option, you can be
The fifth
once a
floor?
month you can be a guest on the show, and
Okay.
we'll
Once a month.
we'll do a
Wow.
Skype show and you can call in and we'll
So
talk to
yeah,
you
if
on
you
the
want
show.
to be the 5th, 4th,
You'll be the 5th member of the Geek Force.
However,
We'll be for that week. We'll be the Geek Fifths.
I will auction off my spot as co-host for $20.
he will auction off his body for $25.
That is true. But the
So-
mind is $30.
There you go. All right, so that was our show for this week. You can check us out. Please follow us on Patreon. Patronize us. I guess that's the term.
Yeah.
And you can interact with us on Facebook, on Geek Fource. You can also send us an email. It's geekforce@gmail.com. And remember the spelling, because that is important.
GeekFource.
That is correct, yes. So send us, if you want us to talk about something specific, or if you just want to give us a shout-out, that'd be great. If you're listening to this on iTunes, please give us a review, because that matters, like, a lot for some reason.
Really?
Yeah, iTunes reviews are a big, big thing, and they help us get more out there without having to spend money. So, if you're not listening to us on iTunes, just, tell a friend, tell them how great we are. That's okay, too.
Does anyone have an iTunes account I can borrow? I'd like to leave a review on a podcast.
No, you can't review yourself.
That they can... No, not for us.
I've technically... I think I've already written a review for us on our... So, anyway. I wrote it using my daughter's account. It's fine.
Other podcasts shouldn't even try.
So, yeah. Anyway, thanks for listening, everybody. And what did we decide on a sign off? Do we know yet?
Follow me on Twitter.
Your Twitter's your Facebook, your
so
Instagram.
Velma's Twitter is Dackless.
At Dackless for all the social justice warrior stuff that I do.
There you go.
DCLUS.
Yeah.
Is it?
DCLUS.
Do you want anybody to follow you anywhere? Or...
Well,
I
just used, like, on Twitter, they give you a username based off your email, so follow me at 4.horn7x.
Damn it.
And Ken, you are invisible on the web, as you want to be. Yes.
I'm a ghost.
I have a Twitter, but I'm blanking on the name of it now. I think I changed it.
I thought you stopped using it. I thought you said you were just going to focus on Geek
Yeah.
Fource.
Yeah.
Don't you have to post something funny
So,
every day? Like,
follow us on Geek Fource. It's
why
at
did
Geek
I
Fource.
get a half-off coupon for Pizza Hut? I like a whole pizza or something like that every day.
What are you reading it?
Was that your Coke Pope?
That was Coke Pope. That was the thing I did for a while. Yeah, where he was the.
Like, why does Pepsi get a religious icon and not me, Coke Pope?
No, Pepsi. I made the. They were the
religious
Pepsipalians, and they were an evil religious cult. The Pepsipalians. So,
According to
the Coke Pope.
But the Coke Pope is a liar.
The Coke Pope is the one true. It's the one true source of holy refreshment. So, if you ever want to be eternally refreshed, you go to the Coke.
Now,
Pope.
was this the old Coke Pope or the new Coke Pope?
This is classic Coke Pope. So,
okay.
Although he did change his hat and he got better. Initially it was.
He's got to change his hat and get worse.
Initially there was the German Coke Pope,
and
who was not as good, and then we got the new, I think he's Argentinian, Coke Pope, and he is much better. He's a.
Well, I mean, he was born there, yes,
Yeah.
but he's Italian.
Right. So yeah. So it's the new Coke Pope.
Let's not pretend
there
that
was a big ceremony when because the Coke Pope is in some way related to the actual Pope. So when the actual Pope changes, the Coke Pope changes due to corporate licensing rules. So yeah. So.
Coke Pope.
What about the Royal Crownists?
That's just silly.
So,
All right. Well, good night for now.
Which religion smites somebody as he sprite them?
No, never got around to that. I don't know. He's the leader of the polar bears. He's the Holy See.
Santa Claus? Is it Santa Claus?
You kept Holy C?
Yeah, but just
Is
the letter
it
C.
the letter C is in Coke?
Yes.
Okay, I guess there's that. Okay. Did you think that the Holy See was spelled that way?
No.
Okay.
I also, this is the part that my mom got really mad at. I took actual Bible verses and rewrote them as Coca-Cola slogans.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that she really didn't like.
I mean, you could probably find Bible verses in there that fit as Coca-Cola slogans without changing them.
But it was more fun when I changed.
No, that would have been the funnier.
The best part about it, you know who followed me? Mellow Yellow. The actual Mellow Yellow account followed me because they were like, we like this guy.
Okay, so find Ben on the Coke Pope at CokePope.com or whatever, how Twitter works. How does Twitter work, guys? Tell me.
It's just at and the name.
Those of you without refreshments,
So you say
be
at
the
the
first
name-
to pop your lids.
Say at the name and then put the name in that you're looking for. So like at the name, the Coke Pope?
At the Coke Pope.
At the Coke Pope, okay.
Yeah.
ATTHECOKEPOPE.
Sure.
Okay.
Now, I'm also a Coke Pope. Much different thing.
Okay. You can also find Noah at the Coke Pope.
The Coke Pope .dark.
But this is
You're
at
probably down
the
alley.
Coke Pope.
Yeah.
he's got his alley he sits at, you know.
That's the alley by our house. I love that alley.
Yeah.
It's pretty tight. I
Nice
do there a
alley.
lot.
You do?
Yeah.
I haven't driven.
Oh, I drive through it all the time.
Really?
Oh, I love driving through alleys.
Okay.
Okay.
You can talk about that on your podcast, which is next. Alleyways.
If you have a better sign off than Velma Noah talking about alleyways, let us know. Send an email, and we'll give it a shot next week.
May the Geek Force.
May the Geek Force be with you. That's a fun one. That's a good one.
Night, motherfucker.
Well, I'll come up with like a list of shitty ones for next week, and we'll try them all out. No good ones.
Why
I
don't you
won't
come
have
up
any
with
good
good
ideas.
ones?
I will only have shitty ones.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.